Yo, what's up, guys? Happy Tuesday. Yeah, so I've actually been. It's interesting. I usually use a Final Fantasy playlist when I go to sleep. Let me actually double check this camera to make sure it's good. I usually use a Final Fantasy playlist when I go to sleep, or like a gaming anime kind of playlist when I go to sleep. And I haven't been using that the past couple days because I've just been in the mood to listen to something else. And that would be when I would actually put a lot of the new music. So I would have put like Sanctuary Hearts in that playlist, but I haven't. And kind of the only times I'm listening to the OST to that soundtrack is now. So I haven't been able to really appreciate it as much. But the tracks that I've listened to have been great. But I previewed everything before I put it on the playlist, and they all sounded great to me. So everything is basically on that playlist. But I haven't really like sat down and like listened to the music like after a couple times to really get a good vibe for it. But I do like it in general. What's up, guys? Good to see you. Thunder Chunk, hello. Willow, Zippo, Tina, Kadiri, hello. Catman, Goose, what's up, guys? Kadiri, I hear tales of a Deep Dungeon 3 group in the works with you guys. Feet Lovers Pizza, hey, thanks for the follow, appreciate it. But it's good to see you guys on the reset day. We are going to build another machinist file for practice. I probably will be doing about 2 more before we actually move on and maybe do a little ass show before we actually get into the GDQ run. Again, we're just running the practice now. Maybe even as early as next week. I don't know. We'll see. We're having quite success on machinist, and I'm just running runs right now because we're just getting more and more practice in so I can get really good at what we're doing. What's up, Willow? But today, we're doing a 51-120. And then after stream, we're going to be checking out a brand new game called Sacred Summons. And it actually looks very pretty. It is a mobile game. It's actually a mobile-only game. It doesn't have a PC version. But it looks very pretty. And we'll try that out for a couple hours to see how the game flows and if that might be a mobile game that you guys might want to try out for yourselves. We do have a special code for some summon tickets. I think it's your run-of-the-mill gacha game, so it has like pulls and stuff. But we have a free code for some summon tickets that the guys I'm working with sent over to me, and I'll make sure it works on my stream. Like I'll make sure it works on my end. But we do have the code if you end up playing that game before I do. It got released I think yesterday, so it's brand new, but it looks nice. So I hope it plays good. It is a sponsored game. It is a sponsored game. We are sponsored for it. We are sponsored for it, so we'll give it a good try, just like last week for Ragnarok Begins, and we'll see how it does. Your Crailty, thanks, appreciate that. What's up, Par? Today I managed to die 142 to dumb levels of score-motivated greed, 53 to the mindless. I heard about the silver chest, rip. Yo, what's up, Finn, by the way? How many GDQs do I have? I have 4 set up. Now, Thursday is going to be very interesting. At least just for the lore of this channel. What I mean by that is that Thursday, we're going to be accomplishing 2 things on Thursday. One, we're going to set up our final backup file, which is backup file number 5. I have 1 on EU, I have 2 on Crystal, so that's 3. I have 1 on Primal. And then... Well, actually, technically, it's not actually the final backup file because I'll do a backup file on my main too, so that'll be 6 total. But that'll be my 5th backup file on on my alternate character. But we're also going to be testing out the Fantasia, and I'm going to play the rest of that run. We're going to start the run as normal. I'm going to get myself in between the floors, in between 1661, and then we're going to see if I can work the Fantasia in between there, and we're going to change over to Lalafell, and we'll play Lalafell for the rest of the stream. We'll go up to 170 on that file. That's going to be interesting. At least this gives me practice, and the assumption that from the preliminary discussions we've been having about the Fantasia Warrior, people feel like Lalafell's gonna win, so may as well try it out and get used to it for at least 1 run before we actually have to do it for the live stream. So that's what we got. Oh man, which one should I take out? Should I take out the first one or the second one? Alright, so let's go in. 51 plus. Kill the music. Buttons are hard. Okay. I'm gonna have to... You're actually not gonna see the mouse right now because I forgot to charge it the past couple days. And, is it charging? Oh, it isn't. I forgot. Sorry. Everything's blowing up. I forgot to charge it past couple days. I took a nap earlier because I was a little tired, and I forgot to charge it when I was napping. So it's all on me. So now I have to let it sit on the dock for a little bit, so we'll use it later for when we play Sacred Summons. For Fantasia War, will there be a visual guide as to what the race is for those who... I don't think so. So how I explained it when I submitted the the incentive, I didn't call it a Fantasia War. I believe I didn't call it a Fantasia War. However, I did call it a race choice, like a race change. I tried to explain it as simply as I could. So it's something along the lines of like, and this is like talking to like someone who, for instance, if for some reason they never heard of 14 and they didn't know this was a thing, so I don't know. But I was like, you know, in this game, there's like multiple races, and when you choose a character, any new character, you can pick your own race, but we have the ability to change the race at any time using a, I think I did say like an item called a Fantasia. And I just basically said, we can have an incentive where people can donate money to pick the race I play. And I also told them as long as they give me maybe about 30 minutes prior to, I should be good to go. I could do it instantly if I really need to, but I figured, you know, give me a little bit of time just for any server issues or whatever. That's how I explained it. Now, visual guides, whatever, I imagine that would be up to them. If they feel like it's not something that is that obvious, perhaps they'll have images. I don't know. That may not be on me though. I think that may not be like, that might be something that they would have to think about, right? Maybe it's so obscure that they have to make sure people who are watching understand that. But I don't think it's on me anymore. Does that make sense? So that's how I proposed it. And I did also say, and making this kind of over prepared assumption kind of thing of like, you know, there are 8 races. I don't know if you can do all 8 races. If you need to trim them, don't worry about it. It's fine. Trim them if you need to. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if 8's a lot. Like 8 is a lot to me. Like usually when they do incentives like a choice, I usually see like 4, maybe 5. You know, like when you see a name change, if you had to donate to name the character of the gameplay, I usually see a maximum of 4. So I don't know how 8 will go, but maybe they look at it as more money that can be brought in, and they'll put as many as there needs to be. But I also like, I basically posed it as like, you know, you guys make the decision. This is just what's available, and whatever you see fit for your event. You know, so it doesn't become something that I take a hit on. You know, why didn't you include this race? Well, for me, it would be like, well, it's not my choice. I wanted to do it all. But what I'd like to do is I would like to do a post on Twitter with all of the characters that we created, because I want to create. I'm pre-creating these characters so I can just easily swap into it. You know, instead of having to kind of fumble and just like all of a sudden just make like a random character or something. So we are making them prior to. And right now we have a male Lalafell and a female Rogadin. And then of course I have my cat girl, but that's if I don't have to change. But I will make the other races over time. Maybe might start doing that next week or something, I don't know. But I'll have that already, and I want to post like, hey, these are the options for your choices. You know, we have these, etc., etc. And of course, you know, some people did ask about, you know, the race, the genders and stuff. I'm like, I don't know. I don't think that you really want to go through like, you know, 14 choices of like, oh, let's do female cat girl. So I'm just choosing it. I'm choosing that on my own, but I'm just making sure that there's a decent mix of them. We're kind of going alternating or whatever. I mean, Hrothgar's are, of course, only male, but I'm trying to do a little bit of a good distribution that way. And then Catgirl has to be Catgirl because that's my original character, so that's kind of forced into it. Hey, what's up, Arton? I mean, a lot of bid war incentives never have photos, just descriptions. You'd be fine. Alright, good to see you, Arton. It only shows the top 4 on. It only shows the top 4 on stream. It takes the record of every name everyone puts in text field. Okay, so it should be okay, gotcha. Instead of race names, it should be descriptors. But no, but then I don't think people understand that, right? Like maybe like down the line, You know, if Final Fantasy 14 has been in GDQ a couple times, people would get the joke. But I feel like you have to make this as base value as possible, as simple and as straightforward as possible, so people can get it, right? So if they looked it up, you know, if they looked up potato and 14, maybe they'll get hits, but it might not go too well. What's up, Wallen? Have fun with the climb. Thanks, man. Like I said, we're gonna be trying out a new mobile game, mobile MMO RPG called Sacred Summons later. It actually looks pretty cool. I usually don't play anything when we have these kind of sponsors because I want to experience it like a fresh gamer without any type of bias or whatever. And that's what we do. I only made sure that the game worked, and the game looks like it works. So that'll be what we'll do after we finish this 120 run. And if you guys, it'll probably be more something that you'll see like, what do you call it? A little bit later, when we actually play the game, if anyone is here. But we do have a redemption code for some summoning tickets, because I believe you can summon, like, pets to help you. You'll have, like, a main character.
4 months, I am a Lokepog.
You'll have a main character that you can play as, and then you'll have, like, summons that help you as you do battle. And I think that's what you're doing summoning tickets for. Hey, Tarnum, thanks for the 4 months, I appreciate that. Appreciate the continued support. And also using Loken's emote, which I also appreciate, because he's a good friend of ours. I'm getting an early 2 AM night for once, have fun. Oh, I'd see ya. Well, Willow, thanks for passing by. I hope you have a wonderful sleep. Oh, I have no abilities. L-O-L. Come at me, bro. As the best emotes on Twitch, they do, and I hope you guys will spam the hell out of all of them. You know, I'd love it if you obviously spam the ones that we have, but honestly, like, everyone's in the community, and Team Solo is top tier. So make sure everyone watching, all 100,000 people know that these emotes exist, and spread them out. Spam the hell out of it. Hell yeah, dude. I'm almost certain we're, like, at least amongst my channel and a handful of the Deep Dungeon runners who are streaming, like, we should be the only ones that have Deep Dungeon emotes, so you're not gonna have too many of them, but spam them all. New Age Renegade. Let me read your message, hold on. To be honest, on Friday night, it's likely going to be, you know, I guess, I honestly, New Age, like, I've gandered at the views once in a while for GDQ, and I don't take a lot of stock. You know why? Because a lot of times when I'm watching it, I have the chat out. Like, I don't even look at the chat, I don't look at the thing. I sometimes occasionally look at it, but I don't really look at it too much. Or I have it on my TV, and my TV won't show the view count. So that's all I've seen. But no, you're not wrong. It is Friday night prime time. It is the day before the finale. You know, even something to think about is we might be hitting milestones on that day, because usually, at least from the last couple that I've watched, that's when, like, the donations really hit hard, right? Like, you start crossing over 1 million, 2 million of the GDQ marathon, and so you start seeing the really big donations kick in. So it could be pretty hype for that, and that's gonna be crazy. You know, I gotta think of that too. Like, I gotta actually, like, stop commentating if they cross over, like, a milestone. So we'll see. I really do hope the 14 community as a whole comes in pretty strong and showcases, like, yo, we should have this game in this marathon. And it'll be really nice. You know? Showcase what the community is all about. Usually stack the most popular games all together. It's always pretty cool. That's cool. I didn't think of it like that. You know, all I was looking at was like, oh, okay, we just got a really nice prime time slot, but that's all that's true. Like, when I was gandering at the games, like, I don't think we're in a block per se. Like, I don't think we're in like, you know, how you'd have a Mega Man block or Castlevania block, which is there, and a lot of popular games are sitting there, so I think you're right. And that's pretty neat that we are considered a popular game. Here. The more people watching who's though the scarier possible well, we'll see. I mean, you know, that's why I have all the backup files, Finn. To make sure that if anything happens, we are ready for it. And you know, I feel like I'm as prepared as I possibly could be for any type of situation. We shall see. And I hope everything goes without a hitch. You know, if anything, I'd like to think that I would have done my best to make sure that the run went as smooth as possible. So, you know, if something does happen, if the run just doesn't work out, at least I can be like, you know what? I did what I could. Like, I wouldn't have any regrets about anything. And so far, I feel like we're definitely doing pretty good with that, I'd like to think. Honestly, if you guys feel like there's anything else that, like, might be a good idea, I would be open to hearing the feedback. But, I mean, I know some guys were saying, you know, make the JP character, but honestly, I don't really think I want to do that. Like, JP is a little bit too far for me. Like, I don't even know... Like, it gets overly complicated because I'd have to get a VPN again. And then, if not, then I'd have... And, like, you know, you'd want to play the game as straightforward as possible, and if I have to do Behemoth on high ping, it's just gonna be nasty. I'm not prepared for that. Not enough practice for that. Although that would be funny to showcase how it is in high ping. Like, that would be a challenge in itself. Hey, we're playing on, you know, we're playing across the world, see how hard it is. But... if there's anything that you guys might think of, I am totally open to it. But if it is a true DDoS, I mean, what can I do about a DDoS, right? That's not in my wheelhouse. I can't protect myself. I can protect myself against a DDoS. I can't protect the game against DDoS. I'll go this way. Hey, what's up, Jabaden? Thanks, appreciate it. I'm like storing all that luck for GDQ at this point. We've been, you know, we actually had pretty interesting luck on Sunday. We had to get through a 199 with damage down, no items, and I didn't have a Serenity. And that was probably one of the more challenging machinist runs I've had in a while. So that was pretty fun. Really happy I got that clear felt really good. Like a lot of the clears with machinists were just kind of run of the mill on my end. You know, just okay, we just power through this, whatever, we have the pawns, it's just kind of, it's a victory lap. But that one in particular felt like a true, like, okay, the game is really challenging me here. Let's see what we got. And you know, for me, I don't know how like some of you guys feel, so I keep hitting my phone. I don't know how some of you guys feel. I know some guys kind of implement, like Finn implements like his own challenge to the run, first person, no chest, so on and so forth. But for me, I separate that into two categories of like an artificial challenge as opposed to a true, like, this is what the game's giving you challenge. And I kind of prefer the latter. So that Sunday run was really nice because that was like a true, like, this is what the game gave me. These are the decisions I've made through the run, and this is what the game's given me, so I gotta figure it out. And it felt really good that we were able to get that victory. There's a little pressure on that one. Exit is the opposite side. That's kind of out there, but I wonder if you had any contact with Square Enix if they let you play it. No, I haven't. I haven't. I would say that would be almost like a... That would almost be like a problem, a solution to a problem that doesn't currently exist, right? Like, I would say if there's a precedence for people to try to like wreck the servers and something and DDoS the servers because of a big event like that, then you'd be going for a precedence and be like, hey, you know, because of this thing that happened before. But because we're not there yet, I feel like that's a little much, you know? Like I don't have a good ground to stand on for explaining that. So part of me feels that way. I could contact Square Enix for that. I've debated on contacting them for other reasons, but yeah, I don't know, that might be a little much, but you never know. you know, here's one thing to maybe think about. Like, what if when we're getting close to the patch, we see like the beginning of the January, like the game is just going haywire. Like every day there's a DDoS. Maybe at that point I could be like, hey, you know, I got this run going on, and I know the service has just been haywire this past week. Do you think this might be a good idea? Like, you know, like there would need to be some type of precedence, I feel like, before engaging in something that cautious, if that makes sense. That's how I look at it anyway. Could be wrong. That's how I look at it. Okay, a lot of chests. Did I fight this? I didn't fight this at all. Hey Vane! Hey, thanks for Prime! You know, thanks guys, appreciate it. Look at the support. Oh, I gotta go find something. I bet you one of these are a Mimic too. Having to run all the way back for this. Alright, let's go. Let's go. Prime Gaming, could use that anywhere on Twitch for the month, and you're like, you know what, I'll chuck it over here. So it really means a lot. Those Prime Gaming subs are awesome. That's a conscious decision to pick the stream, so thank you so much. I learned so much from, thank you. I'm glad you did. I'm glad that you've enjoyed the streams. I'm glad that you picked up stuff from the streams, and I'm glad to be streaming. So appreciate it. What's up, Shiro? Yeah, I want to see a lot of Sheila emotes in GDQ. Well, actually, I'm not even gonna. Well, I'll look at the VOD. Okay, so I'm not gonna look at chat when I'm doing it live. I've already established that. But I'm certainly gonna be looking at the VOD when it's done. So definitely have that firing off, guys. Like I said, get all the deep dungeon emotes that you got from whoever we have in the community. Fire them off. Man, you know, I really should probably make a push for more emotes on my channel, but I just the ideas have been dry for a long time. I can't think of anything on my end that would make sense for my channel, because I feel like we've like pulled up a lot of the usual suspects. I mean, the animated ones are ones that I kind of want to have a little more, but I mean, I still have time to get them if I really needed them. New emotes to bust out, we'll see. You know, maybe I should actually put more effort into thinking about that. I really should. Because I have slots. Like, I have slots to open, thanks to the generosity from, like, last year. I have slots I can fill with emotes, I just never really thought about what I can put in there. Are you gonna aggro? How did you not aggro? Is it because... Oh, I was gonna say, like, what the hell, dude? What are you looking at me? Alright. Nice quick first set. With the meal song. 19 minutes, let's go. Be like 20-minute run. One, two, three, four, 5. Hold on, I get issue arm. You're asked, okay, UH asked, do you ever get fatigue from early floor climb? Are we talking physical fatigue, mental fatigue, any fatigue? I would say no. But I will also make this a point, is that I have been doing it like this for almost 4 years now. On stream, with chat, maybe with the lights and the webcam, like how we have it for maybe 3 of those, like 2 or 3 of those years. So I would want to say that I've conditioned myself for the marathon. That potentially before I may have, but I don't even remember that in the early days. So I would say I'm conditioned, and if you're asking me, like, do I feel it in today's time, like right now as we speak? No. I would say, if anything, New Age, I would get tired. However, most usually, I would say 99% of the time, once I start hitting the higher floors, I'm awake. Like the adrenaline kicks in, the energy's there, my brain is working. So a lot of times, no. But I will tell you one thing. More like mental fatigue. I've been going for the past 2 weeks and it's just pretty boring until like, oh, well, the grind in terms of that duration, I can understand that. And that's actually one reason, New Age, that I have tried to set my schedule where I only do Deep Dungeon on stream. So right now I'm only doing it 3 days a week. Before I had done it 4 days a week as of last year before I started doing variety. And I think that I am blessed by that schedule, because I think doing it in that frame where we did like one Palace of the Dead and one Heaven on High a week helped me really avoid any type of burnout or any fatigue like you mentioned. Like, I don't feel like it's dragging on, like I'm getting bored, I'm getting tired of doing it. But I think my schedule ends that. I don't do Deep Dungeon off stream. I almost avoid it. With the thing where it's like, well, if I do it too much, I might start hating the content. So that's what's really kept me literally for 4 years enjoying this content at the same excitement that I have for so long, because I'm able to kind of spread the time for it. And then honestly, when we've been doing variety streams on the Monday and Fridays as of this year, it's even further made that better, because it allows me that break. It allows me, like, okay, you know what? We just did a lot of Astro Deep Dungeon. It's nice to have this like 1 day break where I'm not thinking about Astro, I'm not thinking about Palace, and I get to play this brand new game on stream, and it's kind of nice. I don't know how it is to the viewers. I don't know if like you get a break from watching it if you're here, but for sure it's definitely helped me. We're racing today because we're starting a machinist at the same time. I gotta bring it around 150. Okay. Oh man, you should have told me that before. All right, fine. Let's go. Race begins now. Yeah, it's a good. And honestly, Finn, like for the Deep Dungeon dudes, like, look, it's gonna we're gonna get some hype when the new one comes in, right? We gotta get some hype when the new one comes in. So we're gonna grind it hard. Like, I want to go hard. Maybe I start knocking off some variety days potentially because I want to do it. I'm gonna go by how I feel. Maybe I will want some variety days because I want that mental break still. But we know we're gonna go hard, so may as well take the break now. And honestly, like, this year has been about, for me, it's been about a lot of experimenting. I've dabbled into TikTok, which I still haven't really advertised yet, but I might do it by the end of the year. I've dabbled into YouTube Shorts, I've dabbled into variety, but it's because I know this year is gonna be kind of like, I don't want to call it a dead year, but it's kind of like, you know, we're in preparation, we're in pre-season. For me to expect some type of big boost like the luck we had last year when everyone started doing Deep Dungeon, that's a stretch. So may as well take advantage of trying new things now. Get my mind reset, get my mind prepared, and then we do it like that. I am on 5 months of Astro New Age, once a week for about 4 to 5 months. We are on attempt number 18, and the only reason I've stopped doing it, it's because of GDQ. Like, that's the only reason. I would have been continuing Astro if we didn't have GDQ. But of course that is gonna take way more of a higher precedence. So, I'll just let you live. Requiem, thank you for the 4 months. Got my file to like 150 so I can push tomorrow. Yo, what's up, Brokey? I remember 4 times, yeah. It was, what we used to do was Palace of the Dead once a week and then Heaven on High twice a week. But to be fair, Omni, to be fair, Ross, that was also part of my grind for like getting the channel, you know, getting more of the viewership and the stats of the channel and the metrics better. And that was my grind towards partner, because that was consistent. And it was very, very scary to go into Variety, because you know Variety is gonna dip your stats down. Of course it is. I didn't build the channel in Variety. And I know what they are now. They are much lower than my usual streams, but that's okay. Like, I'm okay with this, because I know walking into it that it's gonna be like a fresh thing for me that I have to build up from the base, and that's what we're trying to do. And, you know, so far I've been kind of more or less pleased with what's going on. At the very least, it's been really nice to play some different games. Which, you know, still working on it, but part of me felt like Deep Dungeon really would only get me so far. Like, I probably would hit a cap with Deep Dungeon, and I really should take the advantage of trying to spread out a little bit, you know? If I really, really want to become more a content creator versus a Deep Dungeon streamer, I felt like I had to at least try, and that's what I'm trying. When I saw it, I remember, yeah. Oh gosh, the Scholar one. Scholar took me the longest in Heaven on High. Goodness. But coming back a little bit in the conversation, New Age. So you're asking me about fatigue. I said 99%. There was one time, and I'll admit this to you guys, and not that I threw. I never throw a run, but I wasn't more happier to die than I did at this point. I took my first COVID booster shot, which I don't remember when that was. Maybe that was March or April or something. I don't remember what it was. But it was a couple days after my booster, and we were doing, I think, a Sage? I think we were doing Sage Heaven on High. Or one of the jobs. And I swear, I was so tired. I literally would have passed out on stream if I wasn't willing myself to stay awake. And we were doing Onra, and I died on Onra, and I couldn't be more happier because I was so tired. But again, it was from the boosters, so it's like it was like a little bit different. But that was like the one time I remember where I didn't want to keep streaming. Not because the stream was bad, not because the content was, no, it was just I was just so freaking tired. I felt it the whole run, like the last 81 to 90. My energy was gone. I could barely talk about things. Like, usually I talk about random stuff. I was just quiet the whole time. I was just hoping for it to end. It felt horrible, but that was, you know... And at that time, I didn't understand that was the booster until I started to talk to more people who also felt tired after the booster shots. I'm like, it's the booster shot. That's what it was. Because I was actually afraid a little bit for, like, my personal health. Because I couldn't understand why I was so tired. Because never have I ever felt that tired on a run that deep. Usually I'm high energy, usually the adrenaline keeps me up. First time I ever felt that tired. That I literally want to just end stream right there. But I got my second shot. Burning Crusade launch, it was not fun. Yeah. You don't know what these songs, what they're gonna do to you sometimes, right? You soldier on, but that was definitely something that, you know, kind of made me a little fearful. I really wanted to push partner because I thought you guys had that 1 hour removed, but Bowie said he doesn't get his partner. It's sad my interest in grinding for it. I don't want to make this sound really weird. We actually had another 14 streamer in the directory who we've rated a couple times, Siori, just got partner, and it's a good goal to have. It's a fantastic goal to achieve. There are benefits to being partner, you know, having essentially the credentials. I mean, certainly if you're looking into like maybe sponsors and whatever, that helps, but I think a lot of times people also look at you at your current state, you know, what can you do for me now? Not what you have done for me before. So part of that does lend to that, and, you know, partner is great, but it's not like it's all of a sudden gonna open a million doors. You still have to put the work into it. You still have to grind into that stream. Like, even now, I find myself having to keep doing things to keep everything going. So it just depends on your goals, Finn. I think you're definitely I feel like, Finn, for you, it'll be very similar to me, where if it happens, it happens. But if it doesn't happen, it's whatever, because you don't want to feel like you're forcing it, right? I feel like you're gonna not enjoy it as much if you're forcing it. If it just naturally happens because you're doing something that you just love to do, and it's like, oh, my stats are pretty good. Like, I think that'll be better for you. That's how it was for me, essentially. Like, we were just doing the Deep Dungeon thing. I knew the stream was going little by little up and up, but I was not going to do a partner push, as they say, you know, to get the homies coming in to watch the stream, you know, for a couple weeks just to help my stats or whatever. Like, no, I had to get the partner because it was just organic. No force, no nothing. What the hell? No force, no nothing. And that's when it felt really good. And that's why I was really proud about partner. Because then after, like, you get the check mark and you're with the audience that got you there, not because you had people who were only there temporarily. And it's been really good. What's up, Danny? How you doing? I saw a handful of new people streaming Deep Dungeon last night, or I hadn't seen them at least. I think, I know I was just talking to our buddy Dinug Life, and I don't know if he's gonna stream Deep Dungeon, but he is going to try to do Astro runs. I know Kugan is doing some on his end. He's doing like PoTD into like UCOB stuff. I popped into his stream once, but I didn't get to see him today. I think he was doing some today. Who else? I know D-Buns got up to PB of 188. She's doing awesome. And June, our buddy June Clancy's doing some runs too on his end. So there's a couple people that are hopping in. But this is around the time where we are pre-patched and we're waiting for new content that you will see people being like, you know what? It's a month till new content. I guess I'll just do Deep Dungeon. You know, what else is there to do? And you'll see people do it. That's just kind of the cycle of life when it comes to Deep Dungeon and content. Oh, is Rin back in? I know Ari. Oh, Ari has cleared a number of times, so that's just kind of part of the routine. But I didn't realize Rin was back in. I know he's been trying to do it on and off, but hi Z. He started doing it the other night. Didn't watch much though. Yo, what's up, Z? I was watching Z doing some Harvestella because I'm ahead of her, so therefore I can watch her do some Harvestella. Staying ahead of all the gamers, I can watch them. Yeah, I actually was talking with D today. He was asking for some resources, so I sent him everything we had on Astro. Like, bless you for Astro. But Astro is certainly entertaining. Is that an angry... Oh, it's a comfy Mams. I'm like, why does Mams look angry? You know? D-Buns killed Behemoth because Willow yelled at her to stop looking at chat. When she focuses, she can go into getting it. But she's a streamer! You gotta look at chat. Also, do you realize how counterintuitive that is? Willow puts in chat to not look at chat. That's it. Oh, you know, D-Buns is a... she likes to live dangerously. Yeah, so there's a lot of gamers. I'm waiting for Z to go into Deep Dungeon again. She did pretty good on Heaven on High. Maybe one day. One day I'll convince her to keep going. She wrote something like, "Stop looking at chat. Don't worry, though, you won't see this because you aren't looking at Dude, when I saw D-Buns post her video of Behemoth clear, I'm like, hell yeah, you did it! And then I looked at the time, and I'm like, oh, what in the world? 6 seconds? I didn't judge though. You feel like the patience gets the best of you? That's fair. This does require a little bit of patience. Although, it's funny because kind of at the same time, not having patience might help you go faster. You know? Just go unga bunga, just keep killing. And that actually is not a bad idea. Good. Dead. Save. Yeah, we'll use it. Should I have my Magis for 91 plus? Should you have Magicites? Okay, that's a very complicated answer. So, let me try to approach this on every angle I can think of, Zippo. The short answer is, of course you should have Magicites. Now, if you're talking Odin, it would be ideal to save Odin for 91 as opposed to use it on Onra. But a lot of times it does kind of benefit to use it on Onra. Another situation would be... another situation would be if you're deciding to use Petries or Magicites. you know, and you're trying to pick which one's more important, it is better to have them distributed. So let's say you have 4 floor wipes, okay? Now, it would be I personally think it's a better strategy to have them distributed as like 2 Magicites and 2 Petries, as opposed to 3 Magicites and 1 Petri. Because having 2 and 2 allow you to have at least 1 slot open just in case you decide to fight through a floor and you pick up this like Magicite that showed up at the end of the room, right? So that prevents that from happening. So it gives you a little bit more efficiency. That would be the only situation where you may want to at least dump a Magicite. Well, in the event that you need to save time. Right? Obviously, you're not going to just dump a Magicite because you want to have 2. Like, if you can walk in with 5 floor wipes, then of course you're going to keep 3 of something. But that's the logic that I would give it, if that makes sense. It helps sometimes, but I do make more risky moves for it and end up dead. But you know what? It's all a lesson though, Z. It's okay. You know, Z, I give you credit for your strat in it was like its floors like 36 to like 39. No, I'm sorry, 31 to 34 with the enemies that do the exploding bomb thing with the bomb on their back. I call it the Zuon strat because I watched you do it on a big room where you pulled it and you just let them blow up. I'm like, oh my god, it's the coolest thing I've ever seen because I've never did it before. I call it the Zuon strat because I'm like, this is sweet. And now I just do it all the time. I get to a big room and I just like pop them and just run away. Very good strategy. And that's the one reason I love watching people do Deep Dungeon, because sometimes you just pick up strategies that you just never thought of before. Especially the people who are, especially the fresh runners who are still trying to learn. They might just think of this like big brain strat that they don't even realize they're doing. It's really good. Oh. 481 is rough. I mean, you're getting to 81 Zippo, so that's good. And getting through to 81 is definitely a big prog point, so now you just gotta get through 81. And 81 is really like, it really determines the run. Because if you walk into 91 with like nothing, that's hard, if not impossible. Well, I wouldn't say impossible, but it's very, very difficult to get through 91. So trying to get through navigating through 81 with palms at hand is the challenge. Because I think a lot of people can get through 81, but you know, sometimes people empty the tank to make it happen. Final Fantasy 1 dungeon theme? Well, 2 I think, right? No, 4. I guess it's a remix. This part of the melody remix called Trick, Track, and oh, interesting. Finn says, the fact that no item and no Magicite debuffs can never happen at the same time is such an important piece of information that I feel like guides don't talk about. So do you think Finn people worry about that in their strategy? Like, do you think they actually think about the possibility of getting locked out of everything? Or do you think that might be something a little bit more advanced? I mean, it's fair, people don't talk about that, but then part of me feels like, well, maybe it's not something that needs to be talked about? But I don't know. I think there have been conversations where we did kind of, where we did kind of like, people did ask about that, like, oh my god, what happens if this happens? And we're like, that doesn't happen. I think it's very important. I think it's very important basic level because it's a reason you want to have even split on, like you said. Okay, that's a fair point. Like I think of, so when I think of having the split, I don't approach it from the idea of the combination of the debuff. I'm more thinking about overcapping. Like that's where my mind always goes to is overcapping. Because I guess in my brain, I think overcapping is more of a likelihood than no item, no Magicite kind of thing. But that's a fair point, you know. Any combination of 1 Petri, 1 Magicite is worth 1 sword. Yes. Would be the worst gameplay experience. Well, we'll probably get it in Deep Dungeon 3. You ready? I'm ready. Are you ready? Let's save it. You run on Sunday from 191 to 200 showed me that you can accomplish a lot more when then you can think with yes. Getting through no items, especially on Machinist, is probably one of the biggest things to figure out on this job, in my opinion. This job is powerful, but I think some people really... underestimate Machinist's ability of what it's capable of. And when you go down to, like that 191 to 200 was so risky, because I did not have a single Serenity. And so any bad combination of debuffs could have ended the run, but you just had to make the most of whatever the game gave you at that point. Yeah, Finn, I'll keep that one in mind. It's something that we could definitely probably get more conversation on, and probably just put it into the guides for sure. Because you're not wrong. Honestly, you're not wrong. And it probably should just be a blip into the guides just to mention it, so at least it's there so people know about it. I'm almost curious to take like almost like a survey into how many people think that's the thing. It's just one debuff called... Oh, my bad. LOL. LOL. My deal. No fun, your character moves at 5% speed, you can only hit the auto attack. Yeah. I want that next Deep Dungeon. I thought it was cool and tried it, no avail must, but it is huge progress. It's okay, it takes a lot, honestly it takes a lot of... just a lot of things that you need to prepare for. A little bit of patience, like we were just talking about, but, you know. I think seeing that it's possible sometimes is just enough for people. Done. No, they didn't say it yet. They didn't say it yet. I do wonder what they're gonna decide though. Interesting that they didn't talk about how many floors there are. You think that would be an interesting talk point about, you know, but they didn't talk about it. What's up, Fraggy? I talked to a few people, or got asked the best people who said, wait. I talked to a few people, or got asked about Deep Dungeon the past few weeks by people who started with it or want to get into it. Did you say something else, Fraggy, or did I miss something? Or are you just saying that? It almost seems like it's like a middle of a conversation thing. Sorry if I missed the context. 1000 floors of bust. You heard endless floors? What happened to all the subs, by the way? Oh. Nice knowing you guys. Good to know you guys. Oh wait, I can bind you. Hehe. Crowd control. Okay, I've always said this though, but I would not mind endless floors because I would enjoy the challenge. My issue is I don't know how they're implementing endless floors properly. Like, I don't know what they're... Like, they would have to set up the new Deep Dungeon to make it viable. Because you couldn't, like, all of a sudden install endless floors in Palace and Heaven on High. Unless you, like, really, like... You kind of like, you fix... I don't know, you, like, change the foundation of the content. In the way that it is right now, you can't do endless unless you change it around. Now, you could mold the new one to be endless, which is fair, because we don't know how it looks right now, and they could do it, but I don't know. Imagine being on floor 987 on your run. I don't do hard drugs, I do Deep Dungeon. Yeah, and then imagine, Finn, when you disconnect. Imagine when you disconnect. You know what actually would be pretty fair? Okay, this would be interesting for endless, okay? Think about this, think about this, think about this. What if you have endless floors, okay? And the file doesn't reset. So let's say you get up to 901 and you die. You can queue back into 901, okay? But here's the catch. Whatever palms you've set up for, so let's say you had nothing. Let's say you had 0 palms. And you could keep going back into floor 900, but because you had 0 palms, unless you kind of just get lucky with whatever the pickups are, maybe that's where you're just permanently stuck. And maybe you have to reset the file to get up to there with better palms, I don't know. That could be a possibility, maybe. Although, that would lend to like the RNG happening, and if you just bash your head enough, maybe pick up enough stuff, but could be a thing, maybe. if they balance it correctly. Again, like thinking it in the framework of what Deep Dungeon is right now, it's hard to really imagine that kind of being possible, because there's just a lot of ways you can feel like you can cheese it. But they could change it around where that it doesn't become quote-unquote cheesable, you know? Yo, what's up, Tunnel? I went to 150 to farm some Pegasus, 151 plus, and 90k with no drop in internet on the boss. Truly, damn, that sucks. 200 is way too much because difficulty curve demand that at least 100 of it has to be snooze fest. Yeah. They have had 3 to 4 years to optimize it. I am curious to see if they have been like chipping away at it, because I've heard like definitely different reports and different comments about how, you know, that they wanted to take a break on the content, that they didn't feel like it was as popular. So you'd think like maybe there was a period of time where they didn't even think about the content. Not in this frame of like, well, they tried to get it in, but they ran out of time, you know? Like, that's a different thing. Like, maybe they've been working on it, but they just couldn't get it in. I don't know where the mindset was for it. But, you know, I'm just gonna be happy to see when it happens and see what we get. I'm all for like a unique change, you know, keep what the originals are and then have a unique look at the new Deep Dungeon where it's still the challenge, but it's different. I need to reheat my tea again. God damn it. I think as long as you went back to the first forest set, I don't know if anyone could luck out in that scenario. That's what I'm thinking. Like, okay, here's a good thought. Here's a question, Ross. For Ross and anyone else in chat, okay? Reheating is a sin? No, I reheat my tea all the time. I mean, I know you need to have, like, proper temperatures in tea, but I don't care. I just want to make sure I don't waste it. Okay, here's the question. Ross, let's say you walk into 91 Heaven on High with 0 palms, but you can reset 91 endlessly. Do you think you can eventually clear 91? You're dead. Like, do you think you can eventually clear 91? Finn, you think yes easily? Then that's where the problem lies, because if you can just eventually, like, smash your head against the wall and just keep resetting the file until you get, like, a good jump, you know, then that would be something that you can't have. Like, you want to have it where you would make it literally impossible because you needed to have success in the previous set to move forward. You'll eventually just find... yeah. So, if you were to do something endless in the next Deep Dungeon, something like that has to kind of be either so difficult that even that won't get you through, or that you don't have, or it's not, I don't know, like, I don't know, it's just hard to me to imagine in the framework of current Deep Dungeon, right? But that would be the problem you'd have to solve with an endless file if you go that high, because you obviously have to worry about disconnect. Like, dude, like, I can see an angry post of someone going into the forum of saying this content is trash because I got up to 900 disconnect and can't get back in, right? Like, you can't go that high if the risk of disconnect exists. So you need to fix that problem. And whatever the solution for that is, got it. 0 palms. I got you, queen. I see is a normal T left to stagnate. Wait. Oh, I can see that. I think one change I would like New Deep Dungeon is higher stack of palms. We should go to 5, for example, but then there are more parts to make it up. What about uncapped buffs? Where, like, if you use a second strength, it goes to like 16 minutes instead of just refreshing at 8. I actually kind of like the idea of having more, like, a higher stack. That actually is kind of cool. I did think about that idea of like, okay, there's 2 strengths here. Let me just burn 2 of them and buff up my strength up to like 16 minutes. I guess we'll just go. Also, they need clear wording that you can solo clearly every day in the environment. What? You know, Southerner I'll make sure, I'll try my best when we do GDQ to be like, yeah, you can go in solo. There's a title. Look at my title. Like, we'll make sure that becomes blasted out there. You know, get rid of that misconception. You know, but it's interesting, Southerner. You know why? You know why this is interesting? Because I think you're not wrong. But I think it's the perspective as to when people do the content. Because I gotta tell you, when Deep Dungeon first came out, I knew right away you can solo it, but I was reading the patch notes. The patch notes said you can solo it. I didn't read the in-game text. I didn't look at the NPC and look at his descriptions. From the patch notes of Palace of the Dead, it said you can go in by yourself. And that there was a leaderboard that existed. And I looked at the leaderboard. So, I knew from the beginning that you could. But everyone else approaching the content right now, especially without seeing a new Deep Dungeon for like 5 years, who aren't reading patch notes, they're not gonna see that. So, yeah, maybe there should be better verbiage in the game to explain that thing. Yeah. We did mention that on our practice mock run when me and Frosty did it, because Frosty brought up the topic of a free trial, which then triggered my mind to talk about you could do Deep Dungeon and Machinist on the free trial. So at least we should hopefully talk about that. And God, I hope 14 is advertising in GDQ like they usually do. God, I hope so. It's such a big help on that one. Hey, you know the game that's been advertised on your event? Yeah, you can play it for free. I like that, but it would still have a cap somewhere with like food buffs, like Giffany. Oh yeah, for the cap of the well, then it would probably cap at like 16 then. Double, like you'd able to double up on the Striking Steel. Like that's probably the most you'd go for. You wouldn't go to like endlessly. Like food caps at like double the duration because you can never have more than like maximum 2 food without the free company buff. But the free company buff buffs it at 40 minutes anyway, so it goes up to that amount. Yeah, that's true. I want 3 AM cereal. I'm gonna get 3 AM cereal. What's wrong with that? Get 3 AM cereal, dude. Oh, whoops, I hit the wrong button. You know, after having a lot of experience traveling, Blue Mage Danny, and like seeing different cultures and seeing different countries, honestly, like, the hard rule of like, well, you can't have breakfast and lunch, you can't have dessert after, you know, before a meal. Whatever. Whatever the hell you want, dude. Makes you happy, you know? Who cares? I don't abide by those rules. Like, I abide by them, but to some extent listening to my body, but that's the most I'm gonna do. Did PoTD really come up with a solo leaderboard already set up? Yes. Right, so Finn, one of the reasons that I got interested in Palace of the Dead from the very beginning was because it had a leaderboard, because I was doing a little PvP at the time, and I wanted to compete. Now, it first released 1 to 50. You can only go 1 to 50, and your arm and armor capped at 30. So it was like pretty hard to actually solo. But yeah, right at the beginning, the very, very start of Deep Dungeon, you could be on the leaderboard. And I loved it. That's what got me to this content. And it felt really good when you were like the only one on Aether putting your name on the leaderboard, you know? You felt kind of cool being number 1 at the time. Man, has it changed since then? Has it changed since then? Oh my gosh. Now it's like a real, like a legit... honestly, how the leaderboards are right now was the dream that I had in the early days of Deep Dungeon. That, man, imagine this is competitive. Imagine you had seasonal Deep Dungeon scoring. Can you imagine if we had competitive seasons per patch like there are for PvP for Deep Dungeon scoring? Like, I don't know if we'll get to that point, but that would be sick, dude. That would get people doing the content over and over, not just for funsies. Like, you'll actually get legit competition. I would love that. You gotta keep my red maze? Yeah, Sop, dude. That's like my legacy score. I wanna get Necromancer. Don't do that. You guys already kicked my Gunbreaker score off the thing. That was world first. Stop it right now. Hey guys, later we're gonna be trying, after we finish 120, we're gonna be trying a brand new MMORPG mobile game called Sacred Summons. It looks kinda cool. The graphics are pretty high up there, which, you know, we'll see what happens to that one, but it does look pretty cool, and if you try it, we do have a free redemption code that you can get only here if you actually enjoy the game. So we're gonna give it a good shake, good look, and see how the game is for a couple hours. On my way to the data center travel to outscore me. Yeah, you can't move your score over. You have to make the new score on the new data center, or you have to have your character on Aether to make that happen. If you move, you actually delete your scores. Like, your scores are gone if you move. You didn't know that? That's also something they tell you. I do have a score in Crystal, that's right. I had a score in Primal, but I moved my character so it's no longer there. But I do have a score in Crystal, because I have my Crystal ult, so I did it on the Crystal ult. Bird. God damn it. Yeah, it's on an ult. I didn't. That was not. That's not. If you look at the score and you click the character, you'll see it's geared differently and it has only so many levels. Yeah. If they make it Lollipritz related, a scoreboard would make sense. Oh, the Deep Dungeon? Well, it's in Crystal Tower, so... My highest score ever was on a failed Heaven on High run, so I have no idea how scoring works. Well, Finn has the scoring guide. Oh, wait. I need my mouse. I think my mouse is charged enough. I'll put it back in. Finn has the scoring guide if you ever want to dive into scoring. It's a rabbit hole for sure, let me tell you. You charge it? Okay, good. It's a rabbit hole for sure, but it is very intricate. It's very fleshed out, so be sure to check it out. Hey, 7witch! Yo, thanks for the 31 in a row. Thank you, my dear friend. Hope you're doing well. Hope school isn't kicking your butt too much. That is the Finn, that's right. The Finn of the scoring guide, and the warrior guide, and the overall helper and streamer of the Deep Dungeons. He does stream too, if you haven't checked his channel out. He's a good man. He's been doing a lot of roguelites on his game, on his channel too, aside from Deep Dungeon. But he does a lot of challenge runs, so definitely give him a look if you haven't already. He streams at different times than I do usually, so it's kind of nice. You know, maybe the time is better for you than my stream. Sometimes my stream gets a little weird with like some guys, but yeah, definitely give him a check. Ori. You have cereal, nice dude. Well, it's not the current Eureka. It isn't the current Eureka, so you don't have to be too you got my kills of it. Not to be nail-bitingly close. Yo, shout out to Finn on that one. Oh, whoops. I didn't realize that we were on the boss already. Whatever. This has been the first week I'm watching streams. Mostly been YT, but I kind of had the Deep Dungeon, but hell yeah, dude. We have a lot of streamers that are awesome people. If anything, you can also check out we have a Twitch team that is revolved around the solo gamers. And everyone on there does or has done Deep Dungeon. and I'm sure you'll find someone around your time zone that's going live, and a lot of times when those guys go live, they are doing some deep dungeons, so you can definitely check them out. And also keep them in mind too, like that, my Twitch team is really in preparation for the new deep dungeon. That is the main reason why that team exists, because we're all gonna go ham on the new deep dungeon, and I wanted to make sure that we had a good place where if you needed more than my stream, because, you know, I can't be live 24/7, but, you know, if you're a big fan of the community, I mean, perhaps you'll even find one of those guys better than me in terms of just the vibe that you like, so definitely endorse everyone on that team. Brand flakes, okay. I think there is always at least one of us, yeah, there is, I think so. And not to mention you have other guys diving into Deep Dungeon, especially this week, like Southerner said. A lot of the other content creators that usually do other stuff have been diving into Deep Dungeon a little bit, because you have the kind of just this dead period of time when we're waiting for the new patch. Well, they're waiting for the new patch. Me, I'm waiting for other things. I got other things to wait for. But, you know. Alright. My sleep session is so sporadic, I'll likely have time to watch a bit of everyone. Hell yeah, New Age. The team was very carefully selected, and everyone in there, highly recommend. There are no serious runners except Ali, who disappeared. I'm gonna have to go grind Aetherpool solo, I think. I think some of the... weren't there some serious runners that, like, moved over to Dynamis? Like, aren't there some people who are, like, seriously scoring over in Dynamis right now? Or am I wrong? I know some people talking about it. Oh, good start. Mariko, hello, how you doing? Big room. Condor was doing a lot of Crystal, but I think they took an Astro break. Oh. Astro jail you go! Died to Meteor. Oh no! Oh, I just finished 80, rip. Ripperoni. Give me the thing. I burst before cast, thinking it's only 480 should be fine. Oh, did you do it without strength though? Without strength, I give it a little extra ump, like with lust or something, because sometimes it does get a little spicy without strength. But... resolution. One of my friends who didn't want to compete for my score moved to Dynamis, so I did the only reasonable thing, was just make an alt over there and get Paladin score. Wow, damn Finn. Yeah, I guess that's the reasonable thing to do, you're right. I am here and ready to watch solo sub because I'm scared to solo myself. Hildy14, it's all good, dude. You know, I like to think that, at least from my end, I try my best to get people through that door. You know, the door is open, especially for solo. There's nothing holding you back except for you just giving yourself some time and hopping in. But I hope that we can give you a little confidence to maybe try it yourself. Solo is scary, but one of the things that I like to say about solo, Hildy, when you compare it to like a raid, you know, raid content in this game, a lot of times with raid content, especially being 8-man, yeah, of course, unless you do Criterion or something, you gotta answer to your teammates, right? If you make a mistake, you gotta kind of explain yourself. You gotta like kind of step up and be like, you know what, my fault, I did that. Or you have to explain why you're not picking up certain things fast enough if your team is going faster, like especially PF, you know, you're gonna have to have a little bit of confidence there. But when it comes to solo, you only gotta talk to yourself, man. You just gotta be able to look at the mirror, look at yourself, and be like, you know, did we do okay today? Did we accomplish what we tried to do? You don't have to answer to anyone else, and that's kind of nice for some people. That they still want to do really hard content, that they still want to accomplish something that takes a lot of effort, and you feel accomplished for doing it, but you don't have to answer to other people for it. And I think that helps a lot of people. That's why you see a good number of people trying this content in itself. And I've actually had 1 or 2 people come to me, you know, asking for some advice and everything in terms of just, you know, general advice about getting through the floors. But I remember a couple people saying, like, they wanted to do this content because they didn't feel like they were good at Raid, they didn't feel like they were good at Savage, but they still wanted to do something that they can be proud about, that they can put the title on, be like, look at me, I did this thing. And that's important to some people. So I've always wanted to try to make sure that we make this as approachable as possible, even though it is ridiculously hard. You know, there's a reason that, like, less than a percentage of the gamer base has this title, right? But, you know, maybe one day you'll be able to step in there, Hildy, and just at least chip away at it once in a while. Maybe you'll catch the deep dungeon bug, like most people say. That once you're in, you literally don't leave because you just enjoy the content. Which honestly, that's kind of how I always want to frame it, that as long as you're having fun, then whatever. I mean, if it takes you a year, it takes you a year, but just make sure you have fun, and that's all that matters. I can't recall if I had any pro member, probably had defense. Going for a second ninja though, ninja's quite fun, ninja's fun. I just gotta go crazy and start talking to yourself. Yeah. Danny's here for a conversation. Hey, I appreciate the conversation. You don't start Deep Dungeon late, like every other, say because someone 10 minutes later. Yeah, what Finn said, dude. That's one thing that tilts me too. We're actually close to 1%, by the way. It's 0.8 on all achievements right now, and that includes people who hide their achievements. But yeah, it doesn't include. Yeah, it can't include the. That's not bad though. I mean, that has moved up, so that's pretty good. Still less than 1% though. Hildy says, valid point, I haven't done Savage in a hot minute, but started the Deep Dungeon rabbit hole recently. I actually got my first clear a few nights ago! And you're afraid to solo? What? Come on. Wait, are you wait a minute, hold on. Did you get the Heaven on High clear solo, or like, just like the general Heaven on High clear with people? That's a very different statement. I've been working on it on and off for a year and haven't put it down in 2 weeks now, after going for high scoring 140 in one single run, so the bug can come every time. It's general clear, gotcha. At least you had some exposure. Definitely a good start. But yeah, solo is definitely a whole different beast altogether for sure. Nina, hello, how are you doing? Good to see you. Since I'm not raiding this time around, I started doing more Deep Dungeons as Magical Moose. Yeah? I love hearing that, by the way. I mean, we were just talking about it earlier, how we are in, like, kind of that period of time where there is no more content right now. Like, most people have probably finished all the new content, and you're kind of just waiting for 6.3. And you're starting to see creators and other gamers, like, get into the— wait, what is this? No, it's Dusty. Get into this content now because it's like they wanna keep their subscription, they wanna keep doing something Final Fantasy 14, and this thing is here. It's just sitting here. It's just like, yeah, just hop on in. It doesn't really change. And more people are starting to step into this. I love it. You get to get past it. That's pretty good. That's awesome. Not a lot of people can say they even got that high. So you'll get there. You'll get there, Mariko. Fully dig new. Hey, it is new. I'm doing this because we're preparing it for... hello. We're preparing it for GDQ, because I'm going to use this for GDQ. I figured that if I am going to have my category as 2 hands on the keyboard, no mouse, then we better show 2 hands on the keyboard, no mouse. I know we had the overlay, but I think the overlay will not do justice to people who've never seen the content before. And so I'm making this work. And really what we're doing now, this is more about making sure it works. I've had this freeze twice already, so I need to kind of make sure that it doesn't really happen again, or I kind of understand why it's happening. because it would be really awkward if it just freezes and no one tells me. So we're running some just kind of practice with it and seeing how the program goes. And so far, I would say most of the time it's fine. No real issues with the program. As you can see, it works, so that's all you really need to see. Now, whether it becomes a permanent thing on the stream, I don't know. My big issue with this is that it is using my actual phone that I use for like everyday life, and that's not ideal because essentially I'm shutting myself off from my phone for like 8 hours. So it's not ideal. If I get a new phone, which I've been kind of talking about that I might get a new phone, that helps. I mean, maybe I bust out my old phone, but I'm not sure. The camera may not be as good. At least I know this one works. So we'll see about in the future. But at least for now, here it is. Because we have very, very important matters to attend to. Do you like the cam enough to keep it after, or is it annoying? It's weird, but I feel like a cam on my fingers would make me uncomfortable. So I've gotten used to the whole setup fin. Because what you don't see right now is you don't see this gigantic like arm that I have right above here. You don't see it because it's right like where my hand is right now. It's like right below my hand is where my phone is, and then you have my microphone, which you see my microphone here. So there's a lot of contraptions that are like it looks like a really weird thing if you were to ever take a picture of me from like the side view of everything that I have going on. I've gotten used to the phone being here, and it's not too much of an annoyance because it doesn't obstruct my view to the screen. So I don't feel like I'm being annoyed by that. But I think my only issue is the fact that it's my actual phone, and I'd rather have a device that isn't my phone. And if I can make that happen, maybe I use it more often. little TMI, but the only downfall to having a hand cam is that I have to, like, you know, I have to have, like, essentially pants on, because that would be really bad if I didn't. If it gets really warm, then, you know, I like to be a little bit more comfortable. So, is the new Deep Dungeon confirmed? Yes, it is. Do I do Savage Ultimates? No. I'm doing Criterion for a week, for once a week. Criterion normal Magic Moose, and we are on halfway through the third boss. So we're doing pretty well for once a week, and we're only doing one knockout. So we probably put maybe about 5 or 6 hours into it, and we're almost done with Criterion, so that's pretty good. But no, I don't typically do group content, I just have no interest in it. Steal. I've seen a lot more Deep Dungeon issues with the new one being announced, yes. Well, it's funny because Hildy, I think after the patch letter, I think a couple people have reported that they saw a lot more people in Palace, because it is a requirement that you have to do up to level 50 in Palace of the Dead to step into Eureka Orthos. So, you know, probably some people who never did Palace are starting to get that caught up and stuff. I'm sure you're gonna see even more than that when you see the preliminary patch notes come into play, or when you get to the next live letter in December. Hey Suki, I'm having a fantastic day, thank you for asking. Had a really long nap today. Got some stuff done today as well. So pretty good. We got, you know, today was actually really cool because we might be taking a couple steps into potential sponsors for this stream. One that I'm actually really happy about that could happen. Another that was just by chance, and I would be happy to talk about that once like things are a little bit more settled. So it's pretty cool. Things are kind of looking pretty nice. At least that's what's just happening. We have a lot of things working in the background. The one thing that I hate, though, well, not hate, but the one thing that I had to decline was I was if you guys didn't know, back in November, wait, this is November. Back in October, I was able to get a hands-on in New York City to play Crisis Core, Forspoken, and Dragon Quest Treasures, right? Is that the name of the game? Basically, like, we had to go to a place in New York City, and they had all the consoles set up, and you got to play the game, like, before they're released. to kind of like see how the game is at the moment, and I can talk about that. I did make a video on the Crisis Core one, which is so cool. It was so nice to try Crisis Core before that game released. Like I will tell you, that game looks freaking awesome on the PS5. It's so good. But I was offered, I was given an opportunity to go into New York City again to play Forspoken, and they said I could record content with that game, my playthrough with Forspoken. But unfortunately, it was on a Monday, Tuesday, and I couldn't swing it, and it was like the first week of December. So it kind of sucks. I had to decline that. Like I really would have liked to, but New York City isn't something that I can just shoot over. Like, I'd have to make some type of plans to go to New York City. So it kind of sucks. I would have loved to have done that, but it's okay. Like, I'll hopefully get another opportunity somewhere else, but that was kind of cool. Forspoken does look pretty cool. The version that I played, and we couldn't record our content or our gameplay, but it looked pretty good. It is heavy on magic. It's so much magic. I was actually getting intimidated by all the magical options you had. So it's really in depth on that one, but it does look like a pretty decent game. I might suggest though it might be better on PC, because it was a little laggy on the PlayStation 5, and yeah, but it did look like a pretty interesting game overall. Raid Shadowlands sponsor? Not quite, although we are playing a game today, a mobile game that maybe looks a little bit better than Raid Shadow Legends. We're gonna do that after stream, called Sacred Summons. And the game does look very pretty at the very least, so I hope you guys stick around just to see if it might be a game you may want to try. And with that game, Sacred Summons, that we'll play later, I was given an exclusive code for you guys to have for some free pulls. It's a gacha game, so we had some free pulls, so that's pretty cool. Pretty nice of them. Casino stream where you have 20% chance to get to a new stage and just repeat the stage. Hey, as long as it's entertaining, I'm all good for entertainment. It's interesting that they picked Palace 50 for unlock requirement. Wonder if that's somehow lore connection. The explanation they gave, Ross, was that they wanted to make sure that you had an introduction to Deep Dungeon. So 1 to 50 does do a decent job introducing you to Deep Dungeon, and that's all they want you to have. Of course, the second requirement was to have Endwalker finished, which also is interesting. You know, I actually thought that would be the case because Bozja required you to finish Stormblood. Required you to finish, yeah, I think Shadowbringer? No, Stormblood, right? Something. Yeah, Stormblood, because that's Stormblood. It required you to finish Stormblood, or Shadowbringers. No, Shadowbringers, I'm sorry. To finish the thingy, to get into that content. So, yeah, Shadowbringers and Evilist Raids, yeah. So I wasn't surprised that new Deep Dungeon required you to finish Endwalker, where think of it like this. Palace of the Dead unlocks at 16. So you had it as early as Copperbell Mines. Heaven on High, you only had to get up to 63, because the quest was 63, but you could enter at 61. So this is kind of the new precedence that they're setting, that you had to finish the content story. But it made more sense with Endwalker, because I don't think they want you to, you know, go through like the middle part of the quest and be like, oh, by the way, here's this thing you can do. You know, if you wanna take a break from saving the world, you can go do this Deep Dungeon. So it had to be after. But yeah, basically, Ross, it was that. It's just to introduce, to get people to understand the foundation of Deep Dungeon, and then to step into this new one. That's why the requirement is there. Now, I don't think lore matters, because I think Heaven on High does not talk about Palace of the Dead at all. I don't think so, unless someone can correct me. But I don't think Heaven on High even references Palace. It's just a requirement to have 50 Palace stuff. So, now, if anything, I thought it was more of an interesting thing that they didn't require Heaven on High. Heaven on High does have lore. It's not bad lore. It explains why the thing is created at the very least. Basically, that you're in a battle simulator, an elegant battle simulator that trains warriors. It's not bad. It makes a lot of sense. It doesn't explain the dodo though. Although my lore for the dodo is that the dodo for some reason was able to fly up to 100 and he goes downwards. He doesn't go up. He just goes underneath, and then that's why he gets over there. He can only go through one floor, so that's why he's there. That's what I was wondering. Are we losing Magi Petri? Good question. It's a very good question, Ross. Maybe the next deep dungeon is will explain more of that. Like, I'm sorry, the next live letter will explain that more. But what do you call it? I would imagine that they're replacing the main three. So like where range, resolution, and lust exist, you're replacing those. So, and then Magicite, I imagine, would get replaced. If anything, maybe a different Magicite, but I would like to have a new mechanic personally. Maybe the Dodo was the first creature to enter Heaven on High. It's just been training and getting stronger the whole time. I mean, it is the strongest thing up there. It is the most difficult thing to fight up there. I would have this Yojimbo title long ago if it weren't for Digor Roulette. Rip. Rage again. Oop. HOH is just a VR game? Yeah, it is. What about a Dodo in Heaven on High? There's an S on top, didn't see any Dodo. Exactly, yeah, that's what I mentioned. I think the Dodo just flew up there and then goes down. So that's why you see him on only 99. You don't see him anywhere else, because he just goes down a floor. At least that's what I think. There's no explanation why that's there, but it explains the nest. And why he's on 99. Like, that at least gets explained, but outside of that, I don't know. Yeah, it's a low chance to see it on 99. He's not always there. He is sometimes, but he's not always there. If you see a bird, you should run. It's a patrol. It's a slight patrol. So I mean, more of anything, you can let him go by. You don't have to run. You just let him walk past you. Is it like the low chance to see the Pegasus old item? It's... we always do a, whenever I was doing Heaven on High, we did do a prediction on stream, and you guys would be able to use channel points to see if the Dodo would show up on 99. And I think the past 5 times I've done it, we didn't see the Dodo. But I have seen it before. People do see it, but... Looking forward to... I hope it's blue! My one... If I were to have one say in the next deep dungeon, it's that the weapons are blue. That would be my only contribution to the content of that deep dungeon. You can do whatever you want, just make sure it's blue. So if I had a top 10 list or a top 5 list of what I want, and I could only have one of them, I would be blue weapons, top tier, followed by highly difficult mechanical puzzle bosses as the second one. I think the rest of them is just kind of whatever. We've had the other two primary colors. True. Oh, hi boss. Oh, I actually didn't do this right. Yo, that beat drop. Yeah, the blue mage modes are still something I'd really like, but I think one thing at a time, huh? forgot how to do this boss for some reason. Appropriate music for this boss? Yeah. We need new content, YouTubers quitting 14 in the masses. Wait. Oh my god. You want an Exodus or something? In PoTD, you fight your way down. One of this one going along. It is going lateral. That's right. We're going side to side. We are going side to side. Alright, I'll start using food here. Dun, 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 dun. Also, Hildy, thanks for that follow, I appreciate it. Start with this strength. Oh, good, nice. Good start. Strength right away. Do I prefer Palace over Heaven on High? Good question. I think overall I do like Heaven on High a little bit more in terms of just the raw climb and the raw content. However, I would say because I only stream it, Blue Boats, because I only do Deep Dungeon on stream, Palace for sure for me has a special place, because from my experience, the last 50 floors of Palace of the Dead are way more exciting than the last 50 floors of Heaven on High. In terms of just the stress of the floors, the perception of the people watching it. I think the viewers know that Palace last 50 are way more exciting. Like they know what they're looking at. And I like to put on a show. I like to try to do gaming, and to be like, yo, this is what I can do in this game. So Palace lends to that a little bit more than Heaven on High does. But if I were to just focus in on just the content, just what it offers, I think I do have more fun with Heaven on High, because look, 1 to 100 is just better. It's better to digest than 200 floors, right? Good morning, Cheetah. How you doing? Good morning. Wait, no. Wait, no, good afternoon, Rip. 2 hours ahead. But I'm sleepy, how am I? I had a 2-hour nap earlier. Really good. I had a very powerful nap on my chair that I'm sitting on right now. I actually had a pretty good sleep last night, and I was still tired, so I feel like today was a nice day to catch up on sleep. Not that I was losing sleep, but UD Dungeon is an endless void. Well, it's below Crystal Tower. I mean, you know, what's below Crystal Tower? Does anyone really know what's below Crystal Tower at this point? A tower that can teleport in time? Who knows? Every time I listen to the remix on my stream, I wish there was a new Pulse. Well, you had, Suki, did you know about Sanctuary Hearts? It wasn't the remix album like Pulse, but you did have yet another remix version. And Sanctuary Hearts is pretty damn good if you like lo-fi, if that's something that you might be interested in. Naps be hitting different midday. I always take midday naps. My body's almost trained and conditioned for it. So I usually take it between 1 o'clock and like 5 o'clock, and they feel amazing. But my sleep in general has been a lot better, because I was having pretty trashy sleep, like for a while. But it's been better the past like 1 or 2 months. I'm pretty happy about that. I think it has to do with the fact that it's colder. Like it's really cold where where I am. And I think I just sleep better when it's cold. That's just is what it is. Like, I prefer the heat. I prefer to be in warm climates, but when I sleep, I prefer to be colder. I prefer to be like a literal icicle when I'm sleeping. Hey Deathwish, I'm doing awesome, thank you for asking. Well, the thing is like, yeah, you want to blast the AC, but I also still want, like, more or less, you know, I don't want to just hear the AC, like, I don't want to just hear this, like, blank noise just in my ear, too, so I gotta have, like, a good balance. Yeah. Well, it's my entire body, though. My body heats up like a furnace. So I gotta have my whole body temperature, cooler. Meanwhile, you're always cold. Now, I am always cold. Yeah, that's true, Sheila. Me too. I'm always cold. That's why I'm in a hoodie when it's like 70 degrees out. You know, Sheila, there's this one time. It was like 75 degrees out, and I go to my IRL job, and I have like my fleece. I have like this fleece coat that I got from Uniqlo. I go walk in with it on. They're like, "Aren't you warm? It's like 70 degrees out." I'm like, "No, I'm comfortable. This is fine." I'm very comfortable right now. Oh, leave me alone. Site. Oh, I have another sign in. I always wear a hoodie everywhere. It'll be 100 degrees outside and drives my friends nuts. Yeah, that's me. You know, when I was in the Philippines, Zephyrin... Oh wait, Finn. Just finished 100, so really just 10 minutes offset. Nice! Okay, I'm actually happy about that. That I'm kind of on your pace, Finn, so let's go. 7, when I'm in the Philippines, I am in long jeans and a thin hoodie. And the Philippines, we're talking, is like constantly 100 degrees, 100% humidity. But here's my reasoning. I do not want mosquito bites because I react to mosquito bites. Like, I would say I mean, like, everyone gets bad reactions to mosquito bites, but I get, like, they, like, swell up horribly. So my logic is, like, I was about to say something I would rather not. I'd rather sweat profusely and, like, just be miserable because I feel like I'm just, like, completely drenched in my sweat, as opposed to getting a mosquito bite, you know? Like, screw it, dude. Mosquito bite, I have to suffer for, like, 3 days post. The heat, I just have to suffer until we get to a building, so... Ow, leave me alone. Zevin, I hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Yeah, I hope you guys are, some of the guys are enjoying the Harvestella streams, because I've been, like, just, like, so happy with that game every time, but, like, we got into a lot of story yesterday, and man, that game is really, really, really doing an awesome job. Like, that game just keeps getting better. So, I highly recommend that game if you haven't played it. Yeah, we'll do it on Friday, that's for sure, but that game is just really, really good. The story is definitely doing a really good job right now. So I am getting back to my old schedule-ish with the streams, and just doing the 2 days, Monday, Friday variety. Because I feel like I'm getting close to the end of the game. Don't tell me! I do feel like I'm getting close to the end of the game. So I need to bridge it till December 13th for Crisis Core, because we're getting right into Crisis Core when that shows up. I finished 100, forgot to leave my score again. Rip. That's why I always take a screenshot. It's ingrained in my soul that every time I see a scorecard, I just take a screenshot, Southerner. Maybe you should do that. Yep. I never look at the screenshot, but at least I have a screenshot. You never know sometimes. Finish it off. Hey Danny, good chatting with you, man. I'll catch you next time, alright? Have a good night. Is there a way to see my illegal plugin data from my illegal, if you take a full screenshot, like, isn't it on your PC you can do like a screenshot of the entire screen, right? So you just do that. In the, I don't know. I don't use the said plugins you talk about, so I couldn't really help you that much. I never heard of them. No, I don't use them, so I don't know how to handle it. Like I legit have never used those programs, so I don't know how to take screenshots and stuff. Yeah. I could probably harass him now. He might be lurking. You can tag him at any time in Discord. Oh, I got 2 patrol coming. Oh wait! No, stop! Okay. I already exited the floor. Alright, let's go. Almost poked him. Any tips for Red Mage, Heaven on High, 91+? Woo. Oh man, you're bringing back some memories for me. Let me see. One of the biggest things that was a huge help to me in I mean, this was like initially Red Mage because it was my first job, but something I've carried over into other ones is try not to hesitate your pulls, Slow Dancer. Like, try not to stand around too long. Try not to wait for things to happen. Just move, get a pull, and just don't hesitate. That really helped me on Red Mage. I mean, now, of course, we've evolved the strategy where, assuming you have a Steel and a Strength, if you see a lot of Gozu, to pop the Steel and Strength and Frailty and get rid of every Gozu that you see so you don't have to dodge around so much. That really helps a lot. I mean, I hope you're confident on Mimics, because one of the big progs I had on Red Mage is really handling the Mimics without too much of a problem, because that always caused me a lot of my run fails. So handling the Mimics are really good, but yeah, just, I mean, general information that you use on other jobs for Red Mage. What to pull, what not to pull, so on and so forth, but how come you're not checking all the floors now? Because I'm not really going for score. I don't care about score. We are on the lower floors too, so I'm not really caring about palms. And then also my palms are full, so I don't really need to check for anything now. But yeah, we're on the lower floors, so it doesn't really matter right now. Not really gonna be too, it's not gonna be too much of a detriment for me to skip things, so that's why. If I was going for more score, you'd see me definitely getting my way, going out of my way to get to the rooms. If we were on the higher floors, I for sure would be also checking the rooms more to make sure our palms are better in order, but in lower floors, I'm kind of whatever. No longer scared of Mimics, just the Gozu trains? Yes, Gozu trains, that's one thing I always suggest, and I don't know if this is a strategy that other people do, Slow Dancer, but this is for every single job. No matter what job I take in, this is my strategy, especially on the first floor. If I head count more than 3 Gozus floating around, I will try to see, like, you know the side wall? Have you seen me doing a POV of it or someone talking about it? Where there's a side wall you can bring the white mages to, that when the patrols are going through the room, they don't touch you because you're on that side wall, and you use that to kite for white mages. Like, you would try to hunt down as many white mages as you can without using any pomanders, and once you run out and you're done kind of cheesing them on the side, then you pop a Strength, Frailty, and Steel, and you just hunt down every Gozu you see, because amongst anything else, you don't want to spend time dodging, ducking, and weaving. If you have to duck and weave the entire time, that you're losing minutes. You know, waiting for them to walk by, waiting for them to just, like, manage their position. No, either kill them off right away, or cheese them by pulling white mages and doing good positioning. But That's one huge thing that will definitely keep the time moving. And you really only have to worry about that really on the first floor, maybe the second floor, but by then you're probably using other bombs, because if the debuffs are bad, you're probably nuking it. You know, it's like very rare to actually get out of there with good debuffs. You got 1,100 kills. That's nice. That's really good. Yeah, let's go, dude. Later, guys, after we do 120, we are playing a new mobile game. We are sponsored for this game. It's called Sacred Summons. It looks like it's a Chinese game. It's a mobile MMORPG. It looks pretty. The graphics look actually really nice on it. And we do have a special code for you guys if you wanna maybe engage with the game or try it out on yourself on your own phone. We'll be trying that later. So, you know, it'd be great if you guys hang around, just check it out and just take a look at it. But it looks good. I didn't start playing it. I don't play games. I don't play these games until I get to stream, but it does look good up until what I got up to. Hey, thanks, Nurtuspell. Yeah. Well, you know, it's nice to get the sponsor, but I hope I can do a good job showcasing the game, because that's what they want. They want the exposure, right? They want the exposure, and for you guys to at least see it. Maybe you like it. You know, or best case scenario is that you actually like it so much that you start spending money on it, but, you know, that's up to you, that's your call. But at the end of the day, if like one or two of you end up trying the game out, you're gonna make the game really happy. You're gonna make those publishers really happy. Because I like to believe any game developer, that's their goal, right? They make a game, they hope people play it. And so that's kind of what we're going for. Like, I don't know if anyone was here on Thursday. I don't know how many of you tried to play Ragnarok. Like, did anyone try to play Ragnarok Begins? I know, like, I feel like a lot of people did kind of fall off the stream because I think it wasn't that exciting, which is fair. Like, that might be a game that does well maybe if you play it yourself or something. But I don't know if anyone ever actually tried the game. And it's fine, it wasn't a requirement. Like, there are some things, like, actually, someone brought up the Raid Shadow Legends meme, but in reality, that one is tough to some extent because it does require me to get you guys to actually download the game. Like, I would earn something from the Raid Shadow Legends if you guys went and downloaded the game, actually played the game for like 10 minutes and got to a certain point. Otherwise, I wouldn't get anything out of it. And I think for certain streams and stuff, that makes sense, and I understand it from like the developer side of things. It's like, you know, like, okay, like we'll give you some commission if like you at least get people to at least get their foot into the game. Like, I get it, but you know, I tried it once. It really wasn't too much up my alley. Like I'll leave that maybe to someone else. But what's nice about this sponsorship, like the one from Thursday with Ragnarok Begins and the one we'll do today, they're basically, they just want the exposure. They just want the game to be put out there for a streamer to put it in, and then we'll see what happens. So there's no commitment involved. You don't have to download the game, although it's nice if you do. Like, you're going to help me out and help the developers out, but it's not a requirement for me to, you know, kind of like pitch the game to you guys. Like, guys, please download it. You're gonna help. Like, I'm like, no. It's just, you know, hey, do you think it's cool? Okay, there you go. Give it a shot. And I think I like that a lot better personally for my content, my stream, and for you guys. So. I'm all mobile game down. I don't know what it would take for me to play another. Same, Zebrin. I haven't touched the mobile game. You know what? The last mobile game I played was like back in like 2019, I think, or 18. And I was playing Arc Knights, which I think has an anime now, which I might be interested in checking out. But I was playing Arc Knights, which was an anime turret defense, and it was pretty good. The game itself was kind of nice. I just kind of fell off it because I distinctly remember they had this challenge mode, and it was almost like maybe I can describe it as like a Mythic Plus kind of, like the best, like simplest definition, where you had like this base challenge, but you can up the challenge more and more and more, and the more you did, the more bonuses you got. But that lent into their pay model, where you can bust up the challenge so high, but if you don't have the units to support that challenge, then you're kind of screwed because you just don't have the power for it. And it kind of irritates me when I'm presented a game mode that the only way for me to win was either I got lucky on pulls or I pay money. You know, like, I want to be able to grind with the units they give me, with the things that they give me free, and feel that I'm not restricted. And I felt restricted, and that's when I just fell off that game. Because you get that feeling of, like, FOMO a little bit, right? That you're like, oh man, I didn't get the rewards, and there's like 3 days left, so it kind of sucks. But, and yeah, that was the last mobile game I really played. I haven't played one since then. I mean, a lot of my time is distributed now into streaming, and then doing some of the back end for like YouTube and other things. So I kind of just don't have time. And not to mention when we were in the middle of the pandemic, like, I wasn't out of the house much anyway, and a lot of times I played those mobile games because I was on the road. So it just didn't lend to that. Like, I just didn't have the desire to download a game on my phone when I could just play a console game or play something in my PC when I'm home anyway. So yeah, but there is a place for them. I think there is a good time and a place for them for people depending on their lifestyle. So no, they are bad. I know they are. I mean, Zeke, like, once you put in PvP, that's it, right? The moment you put PvP into a gacha game, then you're kind of just effed, and I avoid PvP personally. But yeah, some of them are not bad. I've always heard that Grand Blue has been one that has been very generous for the free-to-play players, that you don't have to really spend much and you still enjoy the game. Fair. You know, sometimes you try a game because maybe it is nice on that, right? That's why Genshin was one that felt pretty good to play as a free-to-play gamer. That you didn't feel like you had to really spend money, although it didn't really lend to that, because you definitely feel like you're missing out on characters if you didn't spend money, but it still felt pretty good, and you're able to accomplish a lot of tasks without having to spend the cash. Like, Tower of Fantasy kind of did that, but that definitely fell off for me once I went on vacation, because I had to play it on my mobile phone, and I did not like the way it played on mobile. Even though it was meant to be a mobile game, like, I just did not like the way that game played at all. Like, I felt like I couldn't do, like, some of the challenges because I was, like, hindered by my mobile buttons. And there were some challenges that were, like, really hard. I mean, I would have been fine not getting all the characters, but... Did I really Tactician already? Let me just get this drill off. Oh, I gotta wait for... God damn it. Thought I got the resolution off. I wish there was more to Genshin Endgame than just Abyss Dungeon. I think didn't they come out and say that they actually did that on purpose, Kirker, because they didn't want people to feel bad or something? That they actually didn't put more endgame into it because of that? Like, Abyss was already stressful enough or something like that? There doesn't happen to be a full order list. There doesn't have to be a full order list of enemies in PoTD. There is a pull preference, but it kind of depends on the job you're taking Learn to Spell. Like, Melee will have a different pull preference over other jobs. Like, for Melee, for instance, an example of this is that you want to work around Bloodbath. That Bloodbath is one thing that helps when you should do pulls, etc. But yeah, not really. Like it's hard to do that because you don't know what's spawning. You don't know how many things are spawning. You could run into like everything bad on the floor, so you can't really set up like a full order, if that makes sense. So it's more just like, okay, these are the things that are really good to fight, and these are the things that are really good to not fight, and you work with that. I still play Xvius because I'm dumb, but it's mainly because I like the ranking events. Sure. Bro, I haven't touched Xvius in so... Oh my god. Bless you, Zebrin, for actually still sticking with that game. I don't even have that on my new phone. That's on my S7 that I had. A psychotic Lala escaped from jail in Old Dog. Keep your eyes open for small, medium, and large. Wait, are you here? Did you come to my server already? I'm gonna take a small restroom break because I want to heat up my tea a little bit. We'll do a quick ad again. But after we kill this one, I'll be outside for a little bit. Yo, let's see this. 275 kills, Pog. Yo, best score in ever. Best score in ever. Alright. Capsule. Okay. So let me Vital's taken. Let me see, let me hit a restroom break here, and then we'll do the last 20 floors coming in. Hey guys, thank you for keeping me company. It's been great talking with you guys. Again, in about I'd say in about an hour from now, once we finish up the last 20, we'll be trying out a game called Sacred Summons. If anyone is, for some reason, is craving a mobile game to try out, something brand new, check it out. And there is also a nice code that they gave me to share with you guys, so if you do happen to play that game, that's the code. Now, I have instructions as to how to use the code, so if you just want to wait till like I do it, then that's fine, but I can tell you the instructions. They gave it to me. But we'll be doing that once we finish up here. But anyway, thank you for watching. Give me about 3 minutes. I'm going to heat up some tea, hit the restroom. We'll come back and we'll do the last 20. So, thank you guys. Catch you in a bit. Okay, give it 10 seconds, and we shall proceed. Thank you guys for that break. 20 more floors. Let me park my mouse so it can charge again. So you're not seeing the mouse today. It's just I had I forgot to charge my mouse like all day yesterday, and I was basically suffering because it was on low battery all day. So I'm charging it for a while we're not using it. All right, let's go. Okay. Oh, I'm down to... Okay, whatever. The anxiety song. Did you drop a chest? No, okay. But there was something shiny that dropped from them. Bronze chests? Really? It's fine. Sprite. Bypass Sprite. Okay. Oh, this actually goes to another room. Damn it. I think I shouldn't aggro. Good. Into end caller. Into bed. Oh, New Age. Hey, was it pleasant meeting you too? Oh, before you go. Hold on, let me kill this thing first. New Age, if you haven't already, I highly encourage you to check out our Discord, which it is full of the people that are kind of here already. Definitely cater to Deep Dungeon Solo. And I always want to, Okay, hey, cool. Okay, well, let me know if you like it or not. Tell me if you hate the game too. Like, I want to at least have that impression. But definitely check out the Discord. I always like to introduce that to new people because it is very, very welcoming. The community in there is amazing. And I'm proud to have more people join that thing. And we're all getting ready for that new Deep Dungeon. Anyway, have a good sleep. I'll catch you next time. Oh, crap. I'm gonna die. Never played a mobile game, so we'll see? Yeah, okay, cool. Sounds good, dude. What about... Nina, how have you been, by the way? You're kind of MIA a little bit for some time. I hope that was for a good reason. It's always lovely to see you. I hope things have been well on your end. Such a good song. You know, I was leveling Machinist because I needed to push it to 90. It was at 80. My Machinist was at 83 before we got the announcement for GDQ. And I figured, okay, well, if I'm gonna be doing a lot of machinists, I better get this up to 90. Because I can get at least my tomes, you know, I could farm tomes while doing it. And I got Zodiac twice. And hearing that, doing that fight, and then hearing the music was just like, oh man, this is just awesome. Like, you know, I've been hearing this song kind of out of context for a little bit, but to hear it when it was like, this is where this song was meant to be in, it's pretty sick. Kind of brought me back to when we kind of got back into when we got into the expansion for the first time, and I remember hitting that stage for the first time. Just the music was keeping me like I actually wanted to keep doing that trial just because the music was so good. The other time that made me do that was like Eden 4 with Titan, hearing the song of Titan. Like I wanted to just do that. I wanted to do the normal mode, like kind of over and over just because the music was sick. Queeweeko. Thanks for the follow, appreciate that. Welcome in. It hits just as Thorin. Well, I gotta say, Thorin though, I think that has kind of lost a little bit of the epicness for me because I think I've heard it so many times. But before, when it was first out, and I got that fight in Child Roulette, holy moly! It's like, okay, time to sit up in the chair, lean forward, let's game. You know, even though it was so easy. But God, the music hits real hard in this game. It's so good. So happy to play this game, man. This game is so much fun, you know. It's such a good game to play. So... That's the exit. Let's go this way. Oh my god, I like that emote, by the way, Learn to Spell. I've been trying to pull as many ideas of emotes as I can. I really want to try to get some more emotes on my channel. That's a really nice one, I like that. Oh. It's a good jam emote, as always, yeah. Yeah, and I need one. I need a jam emote, I feel like. I want to do the Mimic and the Mimic, but... the only unfortunate part about that is my original emote artist is no longer available. It would have been nice to have him do the thing, but... it's okay, it happens. Yeah, I gotta do the jam. Because we have a really nice one. My music one is nice if that was animated, right? That'd be pretty sweet. I really like that one that you have, though. That's probably the most unique one I've seen. Like, I like Chila's, where Chila's is like holding like glow sticks, and her character's like moving the glow sticks. Like, that's super cool. That one's nice too. The headbutt. Good emote. Thanks for sharing that one. Blood Pins emotes? Oh my god, they're good. Wait. Let me actually really sit and watch them. Hold on. Oh my god, that first one. The first one's a little hard to see. I like the Nodders one. Is it a gun? Why is it shaky? Are you nervous holding the gun? Mimics. Oh, this is the exit. Oh, great. And they're probably blocking the exit. Yeah, of course they are. One, two, three, four, five, six. Needs to drop something useful. Let's check this room over here to see if there's any chests over this way. There's a lot of enemies blocking me, that's for sure. Anything good? Nope. Can pull the other mimic because my head grace is back up. I do want that bronze chest. Hey, Potcher, let's go. Oh! Whip. I was focused in on getting to the... God damn it. Feels bad. Just enough. Okay, finish my tea. Good. We got there. You know. No apologies. I got a call as soon as he asked me. I've been offline lately dealing with IO stuff, but thank you for asking. I honestly came back on the other day because I think my Prime membership is up again. Fortunately, it's too expired. No, it's okay. Hey, do never. It's all good, dude. Life happens, you know. Shit happens, life happens, but I want to at least try to be there for, you know, when y'all come back. Hope I can still be here when that happens. And I'm glad that was the case this time around. So it's all good. But I'm glad to see that you're okay now, and well, at least you seem to be doing at least decent right now. So hope everything is working out, and it is good to see you. It's all good. It's all good. Oh, this is safety. I'm sorry. This is, lighted. Oh, I'm not out. Rip. It's a flighted floor, too. Love when that happens. Wonder how many times. I wonder if my playlist will stay with the 14 tracks. It's gone 5 14 tracks in a row, I believe, which is pretty impressive for my playlist. At 2 agents with Odin, I food boarded them. Truth be told, 60's decimated most of my consumables. Oh nope, there goes the streak. It's okay, Nina. You know, this is all about. It's a long game. Deep Dungeon is a long game. You just keep building that experience, and at some point you'll be good enough to proceed. It's all good. Okay, go here. Make my way back to the other side. Or neats. What else here? Ah yes, I love mimics. No drop. Oh, there's a patrol though. Alright, check the other room. See, there's a chest here. There is a chest. Pick the up ones. Me camera. If you spend money on manicures, you can probably no expense. You know what? Didn't think of that. Fair point. I don't. But very fair point, huh? So, okay, follow-up question. Wait, I'm trying to think of how to even say this question. Hold on. If like I occasionally move this desk out and you see my legs, could I also write off pants for expenses? Would that work? I mean, that would be pretty sweet. Get like gamer pants or something. If it's considered on-air wardrobe. Oh. Wait, that's a thing? On-air wardrobe? So even your hoodie with logo. Really? I never considered that. You know, I actually never considered having a on-air wardrobe to begin with. I just kind of just slapped on whatever the hell I had, and then of course the hoodie. But like, interesting. I wonder if my buddy Sharply Dressed Man does that on his end. You know, because his whole thing, like if you guys have ever seen Sharp, we've rated Sharp before. But as the name suggests, he is very sharply dressed, and he is in a suit and tie, essentially, every stream. Tie, button-down shirt, sometimes a vest. And I wonder if he considers that, on-air wardrobe. Or, well, I mean, he uses it for work, like, you know, he obviously works and stuff, so that goes in, but yeah, I never thought of it. You can say, I bought this specifically on-air costume. Wow. You know, it's really funny you mentioned that, Nina, because, I had considered actually, like, looking into, like, attire that I would kind of cycle through on stream more. Of course I'm picky, but I kind of was thinking about that, because, you know, sometimes I kind of wear the same thing a lot of times, but I mean, they're clean, they're very clean. But I feel like it would be cool if I had like a literal like area that I could set aside that's like, okay, this is what I'm gonna be using for specifically streaming. I never thought of it like that, damn dude. Because in essence, this hoodie is something I use almost exclusively on stream, and there's like a few t-shirts that I use if it's a little bit warmer. I'll use those only for stream. I don't use them outside. And this hoodie I never use outside too. Like I only use it on stream. So okay, well, that's interesting. All right. I mean, it makes complete sense. It's just I never thought of it in that frame of mind. Oh, what am I doing? Nina, I take it this is something that you have experience in. Potentially. Not the on-air wardrobe, but the knowledge of the topic you have experience in. Really? Really, Cat? No one asked you. Could be away. Alteration? Sure, why not? Sure, let me just get more mimics. I can up my mimic count. Perfectly fine with me. I dabble in production. You dabbled in the production side of things. Interesting. Okay. Very, very cool. Yeah, because there are a lot of things that that I do write off that are in the expense of like streaming and stuff. But a lot of the things I do, like I really kind of compartmentalize what I use for stream and what I don't. So a lot of the items that I use and a lot of whatever I use is like specifically and exclusively for stream. Other things I don't think they don't cross over. And low HP, but I have raising on too first. Good, I'm getting more potsherds. Potsherds are coming in real nice. I'm being a little bit more conscious about using less potsherds because I really blew up my potions again one of the runs, but I really didn't need to. I'm trying to be just a little more cautious on that. Alright, let's go. Okay, I think I have another strength here. Pop that strength for the next floor. You never see me this low. I just didn't replenish. I do have a good amount of potsherds. I have 43 on me, so we'll be able to replenish it, but I just haven't done it yet. But this was basically what we left off from Sunday. This is what I had for Sunday. So I started off with like 900. No, I didn't start with 900. I think I started with actually 500. Actually, I purposely started with 500 because I was forcing myself to use less and to conserve them. And we only used like 300 on the run. And that was pretty good. But you're right, I do usually start with 900. So I want to do Astra runs sometime soon. I want to get back into Astra for a little bit. I need the potions for it so I can do it. Nice miss. Also learned to spell, by the way. It was unfortunate yesterday that you were able to catch the stream as I was ending. I usually, like the past 2 weeks, I had been going longer during the night, but yesterday I kind of wanted to end earlier. One is because I feel like I'm getting close to beating the game, or getting to the end of that game, and so I'm kind of extending the life of that game to last me until December, to the next game I will get into. But also, I was behind on a lot of emails I need to respond to, and I was able to catch up on all that, so I kind of wanted to catch up there, but yeah, I apologize. Like, I felt bad. I'm like, oh shit, dude. I just got here, no! But it's okay, it happens. Hopefully Miss Cheetah keeps her company. Maybe hang there for a little bit. Okay. Oh! Well. Affluence. No worries, yeah. Let's do that. I mean, I know, it is the circumstance of what happened, but let's still do that. Because sometimes with a variety game like that, Learn to Spell, you kinda get motivated just to do like one more day, you know? It's like, oh, you know what? I'll stick around for like another 10 minutes, 20 minutes, keep playing. Of course, with Deep Dungeon, that doesn't happen because there is a hard stop and a hard end to the content. But yeah. Could have at least given me a posture. Would you say melees would want more than 500 rejuve pots for a PoTD run? Would tanks not expect to need as much? Yes and yes. I've used a lot on melee before, Gleason. From a 1 to 200 climb, I think like I've used on average, except Monk. Monk was bad, because Monk just ate my potions away. But like the other melee, I would probably use between like around like 600 to 700 on a melee. Tanks for sure, you can get away on tanks. Like tanks, I wouldn't even use potions until like 160 or 171, just because you can survive that much. And even some of the bosses, you don't even need them on some of the bosses, so it's really nice. But yeah, tanks definitely mitigate a lot, but melee you expect melee to eat a lot. Because even like, I would be using potions as early as 131 for some pulls, just to stay alive, because it gets a little spicy depending on how you handle it. So, yes, for sure. I mean, it makes logical sense, because melee will have less defense and all that stuff. Gilid, hello. I got to 180 for the first time on Warrior Died to the meter so close though. How close were you? Do you know what happened? Like, was it just an error in the rotation? Was it a bad setup? Was it just nerves? Like, do you know what happened? But aside from that, congratulations, that's awesome prog. Maybe the next time you get up there, you'll get it. Hitting 180 is just huge. And it is very hard to get past 180. What melee do you think has the easiest time? Reaper. I think Reaper and arguably Ninja, but Ninja definitely depends on the gamer. What I mean by that is, not everyone's gonna like Ninja, not everyone's gonna push Ninja to its limit of what it can do. Not everyone will jive with Ninja. So if like you're kind of just playing it, whatever, you kind of just don't like the job, then I think Ninja won't be a great one to try. Reaper, I think, is more straightforward. I mean, I know you kind of don't really want to say the job is easy, because some people will still find it difficult, that's fair. But I think with the simplicity of Reaper and its rotation just being very, very simple, and you don't have that many buttons on Reaper, I feel like that job can be picked up by more people. So that's nice, but it also is just a powerhouse job. You know? I feel like, and this is opinion and subjective, so I might be wrong, but I feel like the simplicity of Reaper can allow people to do good on a melee job, where they don't have to worry about how the job is supposed to perform. You're basically just doing 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, popping Bloodbath, 1, 2, 3, occasionally your gauge, but you can change your focus away from what the job is doing and more into what Deep Dungeon is doing. Ninja, I feel like, is a lot more busier. I don't know what the general impression is for Ninja, if people are able to play that job pretty well, or they pick it up pretty well, but I mean, you know, there's a lot going on with Ninja, and not to mention, on top of that, you have to learn how to kite. But I feel like at its full potential, I feel Reaper might have an edge on Ninja, still, even at full potential, but Ninja's very, very close to Reaper if you're playing it at full potential. Because what he can do on Ninja is ridiculous. And that changes, by the way, at Heaven on High. I think if you look at Heaven on High, Ninja probably is top tier melee for me in terms of what he can do, and then Reaper just under that. I think you can argue Dragoon nowadays, because Dragoon's very good. But yeah, that's my opinion on that. Okay, let me catch up on chat before we step into the last 10 here. I know I was really nervous and pushed 15 too fast, so he started meters too soon. You know, that's very common, Gilid. And honestly, that's one reason why I want to ask, you know, if you're okay with talking about it, but that's one reason I want to ask. It's because that's very common. People tend to push him too far. And sometimes you actually don't really need to push it that much. You don't need to push it, like, so close, but it does give you a higher chance. But sometimes managing HP is very hard. You might think you unsheath, but you smack another one, you do it by accident. You might crit by accident, you know, you don't take into consideration a crit. But it's okay, you know, next time you know what the problem is. And at the very least, you may not die to that one at least, you know. Or if it happens again, maybe you have a backup plan. You know, maybe it's like, okay, here we go again, let's just roll this rotation a little faster. Almish, good to see you. Fat123 is on Reaper, exactly, and Phonius. My first clear says so it was on Reaper, it's totally worth it. I like Reaper a lot. I'm a big fan of Reaper in Palace of the Dead. It performed exceptional when I tried it. Like I was floored by what Reaper was able to do when we first took it in, and it still does that. Like, Reaper for me is the only melee that I am confident to go up to an ape without steal and blow him up. I can't do that on the other melee. I mean, you probably could, but I won't. You know, like, I can trust Reaper to do it because I've done it a handful of times. Like, that's insane. You know, like, even some tanks, like, look at an ape and they're little like, okay, do I really want to fight this without steal? Like, that's what it does to a tank. But on Reaper, it's just like, yeah, whatever, I'll just blow him up. Easy game. Feeling fully confident, super confident next attempt. Good. Confidence is one of the biggest assets on Behemoth. If you feel confident, even honestly, even if it's fake confidence, you know, sometimes you're overconfident, sometimes it becomes arrogance. But for Behemoth, as long as you don't feel bad dying, I think being overconfident and arrogant on Behemoth is better than not. I think it's a lot better than being nervous and scared, that's for sure. Cheers, Lake. Appreciate it, dude.
17 months of attempts but still enjoying it. It'll clear soon, hype fighter.
It'll clear soon, dude. You'll clear soon, that's for sure. Keep it up, Lake. You got this, man. We believe in you. And we'll be here until you get that clear, no matter how long it takes. So thank you for the 17 months of tier 1. Appreciate that. Is it hard to learn the auto attack baiting thing? I imagine that is required for melee. Well, actually, for melee Behemoth is, in my opinion, just under how easy a healer is. So a healer, think of a healer. We're gonna step on in. I'll go through this conversation though. Let me get in, and then we'll continue that conversation. When it comes to Behemoth, a healer or a healing job outside of Paladin would be the easiest on Behemoth, right? Now removing the time aspect. Let's say you got into Behemoth with like 30 minutes, okay? 30 minutes on Behemoth, like, you're not timing out, all you have to do is kill it. Healer is so easy, because you're just weaving in heals every meteor, that's not a problem. But the second easiest is melee, in my opinion. Because melee with the 50% on lusts, followed by Bloodbath, it's just, you wreck Behemoth. Like, it's just a very good experience on Behemoth. So you don't need to be very precise on melee. I mean, honestly, you could just get up to 15% and then YOLO the rest of it. You don't have to be so close to that. Bloodbath and all its bursts make up for it. So no, it's not that, on melee it's not that hard, but managing the auto attacks is it takes a little bit of effort. And let it practice, because you're essentially not doing that. Well, let me take that back. For some ultimates and some savages, I think you guys are doing a little bit of damage control, right? Like, you're holding on to damage so that you can have your cooldowns at certain points, like, that's a thing. So it's a little similar to that you're trying to like bait him into like getting him in a good spot so you can get the most out of it, but it's still not something very common in this game to do. So it's definitely a new trick to learn and all that stuff. Any advice on healer big pull practice? Just do it. Honestly, like, you know, try with a certain amount. You know, try with 3, up into 4, up into 5. You want to make sure that you don't dip your HP below like 50% and keep the heals going. You want to have that 15-second cadence with your sustaining potion so it doesn't drop. That's probably the biggest problem I have, is that my sustaining potion and regens drop, so I forget about it. But try not to make that happen. Ada, happy Tuesday. I hope you're doing well. It's good to see you as always. Officially, I think I'm at half the time. 1.5 lives, I'm getting there, and you are. It'll take as long as it takes. No worries, man. We'll be here for you. Doing a break from Machinist and doing Astro. Well, I hope you enjoy that one. Alright, see you, Dahmer. Thanks for passing by, dude. Anyone hungry for tacos? They're so big! On here they won't. They're not. On healer, like, they're not. But what the thing is with healer is that you're living long enough. Like, you're not really dying against things, right? For healer, you're not dying. It's just things also aren't dying, so something has to give. But that's the fun of healer, in my opinion. What do you think of starting at 51 Heaven on High to get higher floor practice? Starting at 51 Heaven on High? Oh, you mean 21. I mean, you can't start at 51, but... it's fine. I mean, I would say until you get up to, like, a certain point. I mean, it's the same with Palace. Honestly, like, it's a pretty good idea to start at 51 plus Palace. Until, like, you're confident with Behemoth, you know? Behemoth's a big wall. Once you get past Behemoth, then you can probably see a clear Eminence, but before then, that's definitely something that holds a lot of people back. Happy Tuesday, I'm doing good. Today I finished my D&D character. Alright. Now I'm just waiting around December. When does the campaign start? Did you tell me what date it starts? For me, my December is Crisis Core on the 13th. That's what I'm looking forward to. Cannot wait for that game. I'm gonna play the hell out of that game, guys. You're gonna see a lot of Crisis Core on this channel. I mean, not more than you've been seeing Harvestella. You saw a lot of Harvestella, and you're still seeing a lot of Harvestella, but you'll see a lot of Crisis Core on this channel. No idea what day. Yep. YOLO. Yo, Harvestella was awesome yesterday. If anyone's able to tune into Harvestella yesterday, we hit some major plot points, and it was really, really cool. Good stuff from Harvestella. I can't wait to play that on Friday. Friday, we might start at like 8 o'clock. I forgot I had IRL things to do. So I might start a little bit earlier than 9, but not like the 6 o'clock we've been doing the past 2 weeks. Major plot, dude. What's up, Sig? Cheers, dude. You know what's funny? I joked one time that my thermo had like alcohol in it. And then we did like the Vampire Masquerade stream, and they said not to stream when you're like intoxicated. I'm like, oh, I guess I can't joke about when I'm drinking anymore, forget it. So I can't do that anymore. By the way, the music that's playing right now, which is from Various Day Life, same composer as the people who do Harvestella. I'm just waiting for goddamn Harvestella to come out for NA, because it's JP only, and I'm like, god damn it, dude. I literally want to throw money at your soundtrack, and they're not giving me the option, so I kind of hate it. You said that you have... Oh, so... One of the kind of, not really, you wouldn't call it requirements, but it's like a guideline for doing a sponsored stream, is that you can't do it when you're heavily intoxicated, because it's a bad representation of the brand, which makes complete sense. I mean, you don't want to like, you don't want to look like a blundering idiot when you're trying to sponsor a game. But sometimes I would joke that my water would in fact be filled with like, whiskey or something, because you can't see what's in it. You can only tell by the way I'm acting. But once I read that, I'm like, I guess I can't joke about this anymore because it's gonna get me in trouble. So yeah, I'm not gonna joke about it anymore. Yeah, it's like I gotta be careful sometimes, Yeah, it's like right now, I'm being very careful about like cursing on stream, because we have to be very clean when GDQ happens. I can't curse. Maybe after GDQ I can, but... once in a while I'll let one slip. It's fine, not a big deal. Yeah, I can't. No, you can't. So... Always have some, yeah? I'm not, so generally speaking, I'm not really much of a drinker. I definitely had a little bit more appreciation for beer when I was in Europe. Because we were like, I was there doing Oktoberfest, so like everyone had beer. But I definitely had a little bit more of an appreciation for it. Because one, it's like, it's cheaper than buying like a soda. So, it kind of saves you a little cash doing that. But at least it did taste pretty good. But I don't really drink much at all. It has to be flavorful for me to even get to that point. So like, if at any point, let's say I meet some of you guys in FanFests. Because I really want to go to FanFest. And I'm going to go to PAX East too. I got tickets for PAX East, so if I meet any of you at PAX East, but if at any point, for some reason you're like, you want to buy me a drink or something, it's got to be like, essentially a soda, or you got to get me something that's actually like, with a lot of flavor and like not that much alcohol, otherwise I'm just not consuming it. I will not consume something I don't enjoy. Even if it makes it like, if it kind of looks like, just to be nice because you like someone got something from me, I don't consume something I don't like. Like, you can definitely tell from me, like I was joking about this with a good friend of mine. Like, I'm like, if you cook me something, I'll be nice. I'll be like, oh, this is good, I really like this, but you'll know for real if I like something, if I leave something on my plate or I devour the food. Like words are not really gonna explain how I actually feel about what I ate, but you can see on my plate if I liked it or not. Because I can't lie about that. Because I will not shove anything in my mouth if I just don't enjoy what it tastes like. So. If you see me swallow without chewing, I don't like it. If you see me swallow without chewing... Oh, really? That's very specific. That's interesting, actually. I feel like I'm the opposite, Yabi. Also, good to see you, Yabi. I feel like I'm in the opposite, because if I like something a lot, I'll eat it, like faster. Because I really like it. Like, I want to eat more of it. So I tend to, like, not chew it as much. So, like, I'm absolutely totally the opposite. Because I will find myself chewing something excessively longer. Because it's just like, I don't really like it as much. It's interesting. Funny that's like the opposite. I can totally see that. If you chew, you can feel the taste, but chew notes the taste. That's, yeah, I get that logic, but... How is the GDQ? Oh, what's up, Don Neil? It's going well. We're still practicing. In terms of the progress of that, we have had so far in our belt, under our belt, we have 4 backup files set to go. I wanted to have like a couple, so that's kind of ready to go. We did 1 mock practice with Frosty, who's going to be on my virtual couch. Frosty, Mock Talk, he does the podcast every Saturday, he does the World Race coverage, he is on my couch. We were able to have 1 practice last week, and we're going to be planning to have at least 1 more, if not 2 more, coming into December, to get more of like a live practice with the commentary and how we would do it for GDQ. So after those happen, I'll be a little bit more comfortable. But as of recently, I've been just doing a normal climb. We've been climbing all the way to 200, so I can get kind of practice on Behemoth, practice on the higher floors, get used to the job overall. So I feel like it's been going very well. I think we're on schedule, and all I can say is I hope we will put on a good show. So I'm glad you're hyped about it, and I hope we do a fantastic job when it's our turn. We've got quite the time slot, you know? The time slot that they gave us is like premium time slot. I think honestly the only time slot that would have been better than what they gave me would be if we were the finale. Like, that's how good of a time slot we got. Like, it's insane. So yeah, I'm very hyped about it. I'm still pretty nervous, but I'm doing as much prep as possible. You know, I'll try my best. I'll try my best to make sure that that is what we will display. I drank whiskey, Jack Daniels, says Ada, with some squirt soda. Don't know how my oldest cousin did it, but yeah, I was in Mexico at the time. Gotcha. Basically was told just to try it. Gotcha. Did you pass out drunk, Ada? Just tell me, dude. It's okay. It's already long past that. It's okay, you can admit it. You never drink alcohol? So it's funny with me, I do have like some type of allergic reaction to alcohol if I drink a little bit too much of it. It's almost like my body's telling me like, okay bro, that's enough, like you had too much. I get like a sensation in my jaw. My jaw starts to hurt if I drink too much alcohol. So it's like, it's not really an aversion to flavor, etc. Like there is part of that, but also like I will start to react to it. And we're not talking about that Asian flush, which is very common for Asians, that they turn all red. I actually don't think I turn red at all. I might a little bit, but it's a different reaction than that. It's actual, like, physical, like, not pain per se, but it's a sensation that kind of is annoying. Alright, see you, Nina. Thanks for passing by. It's always good to talk to you, and have a good night. I was got dizzy for a tiny bit, but I was okay. I slept after it because I was tired. It wasn't because I was drunk. There's only one time I recall being the most I've ever felt was tipsy. I've never been drunk, because I never drank that much, but there was one time I was tipsy, and it was really hilarious because I was on a cruise. This was maybe like 2016 or 15 or something like that. I was on a cruise, and they had a cocktail making class, and I thought, oh, this would be cool. Maybe I can actually learn how to make my own like drinks and like cater it to my own desires, right? You know, at least I can modify what I need to do. And they were teaching us how to make these drinks. Like we made like 3 like martinis or something, and I went like a little less on the alcohol. Like I modified it to like the way I wanted it to, and like they were good. They tasted awesome. And then like like 30 minutes after, I'm like walking around this ship, and I literally couldn't walk straight. I was coherent, like I was fine. It's just I literally couldn't walk straight. I'm like, oh shit, dude, I'm actually tipsy. Like it clearly wasn't the boat rocking back and forth. I was just literally incapable of walking straight. So that lasted for like 10 minutes. It was like not bad, but that was like the one and only time I was actually tipsy. So I had 3 drinks. It's hilarious. But I never really went that far, that past that. It was great. Quite the experience for sure. Yo, when we get... You can get tipsy from me, Senna. You can get tipsy from me, dude. What's up, dude? I don't know if the joke is made already. Probably has, but I realized if you were playing warrior, I would literally be a keyboard warrior. Okay, I'm gonna write that one down, Chrono. Next time I ever find myself on warrior, that is my title right there, keyboard warrior. Coming at you. You're right. No, that joke has not been made at all. That's the first time that anyone has said that, so thank you for bringing that up. Hope you're doing well, Cynic, by the way. After this, guys, after this 120, we are trying out a new mobile MMORPG that I am sponsored for. So if you want to check it out, they actually gave me a special code that you can get some free pulls. It is a gacha game to some extent. Like the gacha is supposed to be for pets. There's a character creation. So I think you're running around with one character that you will make, and then you'll get pets that is the gacha form of it. Oh, that's not what I want to use, but you know what? It's fine. And we have a free code that they gave me to share with you guys, but we'll try that out later. It looks pretty. The game looks pretty. I think it's a Chinese game, because the dub and the trailer that I heard was in legit Chinese, not Japanese. Definitely a lot of Chinese themes and stuff, but it looks pretty interesting. Gotta gacha them all. Yeah, exactly. Well, it says apparently that if you play the game now, you get 100 free pulls, which sounds like a lot. And then on top of that, you get 10 more. So you know. But we'll see how it goes when I play the game. I didn't go past the character creation, so I'm crossing my fingers it works. But it did load, so hopefully it'll be fine. Otherwise, yeah, I'm not sure what I'll do. Well, actually, I could back up. No, we could back up into doing continuing this into a backup file. That's true. So I do have a backup in case the game doesn't work. Get in there. But it should be fine. I checked it out earlier today and yesterday. That was one of the other things I did yesterday. Why we ended a little earlier than I had in the past 2 weeks, just because I had to do a couple of those things. Can't do gacha games because of the addiction personality. That's fine. I'm not allowed to play. That's fine. I mean, I've sworn away gacha games for myself. Not because of that though. It's just I don't really have that much fun with them. They kind of all play the same for me. No matter what gacha game it is, it kind of all ends up the same. And I end up not enjoying it anymore. Like every gacha game I played up till now has led like a bad taste in my mouth. Like I never felt happy leaving the game. Like I left the game because like it annoyed me, but it's okay, you know. We'll try this one. Maybe this one is gonna be better. Who knows? But that's why we're gonna give it a fair look and a fair shake and see what it's all about for a couple hours. Okay, what did I leave? Flight? There was a steal here. Okay. Use the flight. There's 2 chests here. Lusts. This I think was the steal. Let's see if you got extra code of offenders. Yes. Yeah, we have the code, so you can do exclamation code. Yeah, for sure, share that over. And I'm gonna try that code on my end, just to make sure it works, because I have the instructions of how to do it. So we'll do it live and see if it works and everything. But yeah, for sure. I'll definitely give them the link that we have. Share the link that we got, because then I'll get a little bit back from that. Well, I'm not gonna get anything monetary back from it, but at least it tells the company I'm working with that people were checking it out. Fast movie boys. Try to see if I can get a quick explosion there, but okay, that's the exit, so let's just go this way. It's a bad heat blast, I shouldn't have done it. Oh, this is flighted. Oh yeah, that's right. 18. Yay, Pachard. There you go. I found that gacha games annoy me, but it's usually not the gacha itself, but the grind to get materials and level up the characters' weapons I get from my tools. You know, that's interesting, because actually that part, Cynic, I don't mind that part. I will grind as hard as possible, you know? I mean, I like grindy games, so the grinding part's fine. It's just, I think what bothers me more is if you're going free to play, that there will be content that gets released that kind of is like, oh, well, if you had this character, well, you do really good. And usually that character is from the pools. And it's a business design, I get it. It's meant to make you do the pulls, but it feels real bad, you know? Like, if I can trust a game that if I put in, like, a crazy amount of time and just grinded my free characters out and made up for that difference and still was able to do content, I would be so happy, but that's not usually the case. Eventually down the line, some type of content will be available that is like, oh, well, you need like an ice mage for this one to do the best damage, and like all the ice mages are pulls. It's like, damn it. It's like, it feels real annoying. Or like PvP. PvP is always like, every time I see PvP in a gacha game, I like roll my eyes. It's like, of course there's PvP in here. Because you're gonna go up to someone who pays more money and they're gonna kick your ass. That's why it entices you to pay more money there. But I don't touch PvP, so it's whatever. If I could literally sit and grind when I need, then I wouldn't bother me as much. But it's usually limited sources, encouraging mind packs, and yeah. There was a feature in, Cynic, in Brave Exvius. And I don't know if Zevran's listening, and if he did the same thing. But there was a feature there that if you played a character, it would have this, like, reputation kind of thing. Or, I forgot what it was called. But basically, like, every time you used it, the character would get like a small, like 0.1% of like a familiarity type of trait. And when you filled it up to 100%, oh, trust, yes, trust. When you filled it up to 100%, you would get its special ability. But they don't do that anymore? Well, before, when they did that, and that was like just a time grind. So what I did, which was definitely not legal, but who cares, no one's gonna catch me, is I had an auto-clicker, and I would just leave my phone on, and it would go through all the motions of, like, finishing the cheapest stage, which costs, like, 1 energy, which, like, you can do, like, endlessly, and you would just basically trust farm all the way up. So that was, like, mega grindy for a benefit like that. And, that, like, even that was, like, acceptable for me. But, of course, like, you know, I just kind of let my phone do its thing for like 5 hours on its own. But, you know, it's still a thing. Team Farm was super easy on PC with an emulator when it... Yeah, oh, that's true, yeah. I imagine on PC it was really easy. I found an auto-clicker on my phone that handled it, so it was no problem on my phone. Easy game. I thought about using auto-clickers in games, but ultimately I didn't want to kill my phone's battery. That's true. I mean, my phone will survive if it's plugged in, you know, as long as I plug it in, so I... That's fair, too. So wait, what did they do? So what happened with the trust thing? Does it not exist anymore, or do they just not allow it to be like that in Exvius? Oh, whoops. Well, actually, we're not in DR. It's fine. Not that I'm asking so I can go back to the game. Screw that. But still kind of interested in what it was about. Alright. Well, we get to try that new game soon, so we're gonna do this one and then go on about it. It exists, but the sheer abundance of trust Mughals... Oh, I see. I think I did remember trust Mughals coming into play before I ended. I don't remember there being a lot of it, but I remember there being Trust Muggles. I was tempted to use auto clicker. If I was tempted to use auto clicker, I just quit the game since I lose interest in the reward and I'm not actually playing doing that. That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. I can completely see that. I think I have probably near 1,000,000%. Oh my, wow. And they just give that for free? It's just part of the game? Dang. Man, has time changed, that's for sure. Raids are a huge source. Raids are a huge source of them. I guess it's nice for. Yeah, it's really nice for new players. That's for sure. I mean, they gotta. I guess they gotta catch people up, right? I mean, if you want to make it a viable game for people to play, you gotta catch up the guys who are hopping in for the first time. Power creep in that game and really any gacha eventually wore me out. Yep, same. I was okay with some things in Exvius where I could not accomplish. Like, I was pretty happy with, I think, the first year I was playing that game, because even pulling out of the free stuff and getting just whatever the game gave me, I was able to keep up with all the battles. But then after a while, you just started to fall off, and like you needed like certain characters to beat certain things, and it kind of was irritating. I do remember, I think my biggest pull was getting Lightning, and I wanted her real bad. I didn't spend any money, and I got to get to Lightning. That was really nice. I was really happy about that. Alright guys, we did it. Wait, where's my mouse? We did it. That is the 121. This will be done, this will continue on Sunday. This Thursday, when it's American Thanksgiving. I'm going to be setting up one more backup file, and as a special surprise, which is not really a surprise because I'm saying it, we're going to play as a Lalafell. Because I'm going to be testing out the Fantasia live on stream. So we're going to be going in as a Lalafell on Thursday to set up one more backup file on Primal. So you're going to see that Thursday, and then the continuation of this is Sunday. So if it weren't for the rank events, I wouldn't play anymore. I have a lot of fun keeping up with the strats